Hey, welcome Vigilante race fans to the first ever VRN pre-race show. Tonight we're going to go over a quick review of round 2, and we're going to get some interviews with your second and third place finishers from Vegas. That's going to be number 21 of Derek Welch and then Chris Goins, who finished third. The race in Vegas was really clean. We only had 2 major caution flags for the evening, and we're going to take a look at both of those incidents along with a race recap. And we're going to get you started for tonight's evening at Atlanta, which should be just as exciting, if not more so, than Vegas was. So other than those 2 incidents, we did have a little bit of some paint rubbing and some light wall strikes. Otherwise, it was, like I mentioned, a very clean race, and it really came down to pit strategy and when to pit. It looked like Dylan Bryant was going to kind of run away with the race in Vegas and all the way to victory, but the strategy came into play late in the last stint, and when I think it was about 7 laps, Ricky, that he pitted after Burke, which made the difference in allowing Burke to leapfrog him and ultimately go to a 3-second win that night. What are some of your thoughts from Vegas?
Yeah, just looking back on that race, the thing that I remember the most is Dylan not pitting, and we thought maybe it was a strategy thing, but after the race, I think Dylan even kind of admitted he kind of lost touch of the strategy there a little bit, and didn't realize he was losing as much time as he was. And that just shows you that the difference between winning and losing any of these VRL or Vanquish races, sometimes it can come down to something as simple as not pitting 3 or 4 laps ahead of when you should have.
Yeah, and in our interview with, or we talked to him actually after the race. It wasn't an interview; we just a little off to the side conversation. He just thought that he was going to be able to drive through it, and he did. You mentioned during the broadcast he was the fastest truck on the track during that entire last stint. It just came up short. Ended up finishing 4th place overall for the night. Very disappointing for him. But that happens sometimes. You can go in a little bit too early, get run down by someone else. It's all just a matter of how well you manage your tires and did you pit on the right cycle.
Yeah, and the other thing too is if you catch a caution, you stay out 5 or 6 laps extra, and a caution comes out, you've basically trapped the field a lap down. They could take the wave around when you pit, but then you still get to pit and come out in the lead. So, you catch a caution right there, and it was a whole different ball game.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to take a look at the race recap right now. Should go pretty quick if we need to. We can pause it and have some additional discussion. So this is the first incident on lap 1. This was a pretty major crash, the biggest one of the evening. You're on board with Jason Gaines, who got loose in just like turn 3 and 4 of the first lap. And like I mentioned, it was the biggest wreck that we had all night.
Yeah, that was just a huge crash on the first lap, and took out a lot of trucks. Luckily, we did have the fast repair, so guys were able to grab a fast repair and be back in the race. If that would have been a Wednesday race like we saw a couple of nights ago, that would not have been good. There'd have been a lot of guys out of the race on the first lap.
No, for sure. There was some heavy contact, and when you nose into the outside wall or the inside retaining wall, it usually blows that engine, and you're out if you didn't have a fast repair. This series does have one fast repair. It is a speedway series, so you're more likely to have those major incidents. So it's good that they have it. But that was the first incident. That was the biggest one of the night. We had the other major one we have is coming here. You'll see here. I have it queued up for lap 21 between Goodenough and the 99 of Albert Anderson. Here, we'll take a look. You see him go down the backstretch there to 89. He's got a pretty good run. The momentum on the outside is carrying Anderson. So 89 looks like he goes up and just miscalculates a little bit of the side draft, and that kind of sets off the incident there. That I think that pretty much ended 99's evening for the most part.
Yeah, that put them both at the back, and Albert was just not able to get back up through there as quickly as Craig, but it did take both of them out. And to Craig's benefit, I'm sure he would have got a penalty for that contact anyway, but he had race control give him an end of line penalty during that race, and put himself at the back. If he had stayed out, he would have still been up front and probably had a good chance to win. So he knew that was a mistake, and it was good on him to self-police that a little bit.
Yeah, Craig's always he's a stand-up guy. He knew it was a little bit of miscalculation there, and he wanted to make sure that Anderson knew he was taking it and acknowledging that. So now we're going to see this. We're coming with Burke here. This is what we saw the rest of the night, Ricky. Basically, I wanted to highlight the fact that, it's not like we didn't have action. We had tough racing all over the track, clean racing, but it was so tight that you would get these wall strikes trying to test the integrity of the outside wall, or they were rubbing a little bit or trading a little bit of paint between the trucks, but we never ended up having another caution. We did have a few close incidents. And then we're fast forwarding here to what I mentioned, the key to the race, especially Burt pitting on lap 109 here, I think was what was the major thing that allowed him to go on to victory, because he had 7 laps better on Dylan, and not only did he have better tires at the end of the race, but he was taking advantage of them for 7 laps until Dylan went in, as you see here on lap 116. And then this last clip here is ultimately the finish for Burt going on to victory over 3 seconds over second place, Derek Welch.
Yeah, so Burke there, 7 laps don't sound like a lot, but when you're at a track that eats the tires up, and you lose a second and a half a lap, 7 laps is a long time. And Burke knew also that, he could run it as hard as he wanted to until the end of the race. He wasn't having to try to save tires to come back in for another pit stop. He knew that was it, and he was just going to have to run it as hard as he could, and his strategy definitely paid off.
Yeah, it sure did. So with that, as promised, we have Derek Welch, the 21 truck, and then the 38 truck of Chris Gomes, both went in the green room. So I'm going to pull up Derek and get a quick interview with him. So, hey, Derek, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth. You got us, buddy? Derek, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I couldn't hardly hear you.
All right, buddy. So great run. Came in second there at Vegas. How did you adapt to the track and the changing strategies to be able to pull off a second place finish there?
Just being conservative with the tires and short pitting and working with my teammates. I was a little bit too conservative at the end there, letting Jeremiah get a little too far ahead of me, but he's on my team, so kind of like a win for me. But I was a little conservative on tires. Chris Gomes was able to catch me because he was on newer tires, but I started reeling Jeremiah back in, but a little too late at that point.
Yeah, he ended up finishing just about 3 seconds over you, but it seemed like that you were tracking down, and certainly we saw that Dylan Bryant, he kind of misplayed the strategy a little bit, but he was the fastest truck on the track in that last stint. Ultimately came in at 4th, just didn't have enough time to be able to catch up with you guys, so you played it perfectly. Was there a key moment when you knew you were going to be able to, pull off a podium finish?
Really no. Like you said, I didn't know really. I really wasn't paying attention to the relative. I was just paying attention to what was in front of me. Like Chris Goins kind of sneaked up on me. I didn't even know he was coming. So no, I had no idea where everybody was. I was paying attention to Jeremiah in front of me, and once Chris Goins came up to me, and then I started paying a little bit more attention. And at that point, the race was almost over, so I was pretty confident to get a podium.
Yeah, sure. So there was one, the very first lap of the race, you had a very close call. I'm actually going to show that clip real quick for the audience that could have really impacted your ability to come in on the podium tonight. So I'm going to do a quick transition to that. We'll take a look. I don't know if you're able to see it if you're watching at home, but we'll kind of describe it. You're on the outside line there. You got the 29 that you're racing on. Just as the 83 starts to go around, and you just barely miss his right rear corner there, and I think you're running about second or third at that point. What was going through your mind when that incident was unfolding in front of you?
Hoping and praying. Pretty much is all I was doing. Any accident, I was too long ago for me to remember. I'm getting too old to remember what happened yesterday, much less a week ago. Like any accident that happens in front of me, I just hope and pray, check up, look behind me, see how much I can brake, how much I can't brake, and just pray, man. Kansas, you're a little bit more forgiving. Track like today, it's not much forgiving. So a wreck happens in front of you, you're more than likely going to be involved in it, more than likely, especially how close these cars are going to be running tonight. So I don't remember exactly what happened on that incident, but all I can say, I was hoping and praying. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, we just reacted to that point. You just went to the outside. It's not always advisable just to slam on the brakes. Lots of times you got to kind of motor out of it, and that was what you did. You were able to motor around the outside and not get clipped by the spinning truck there. So, Ricky, you got anything else for our second place finisher?
No, it's just last week is a good strategy, Derek. Do you think? What do you think you got here tonight at Atlanta? And I know it's a totally different ball game.
Atlanta's one of my favorite tracks. It's one of my home tracks. That and Talladega. I think I'm a little bit closer to Atlanta than I am Talladega, but love Atlanta. I'd rather race the old version than the new version, but I always do good here. I always usually qualify well. Since I said that, I'll probably qualify last tonight, but I usually do well here. It's one of my favorite tracks. So hope for a good outcome tonight.
Well, good luck to you, Derek. Do you have any shout outs for team sponsors, fans, or family?
I'm not running them tonight, but Davidson Builders always sponsor me. Always has been sponsoring me for the last 6 years, I think. My teammates Jeremiah, Alberts, Tom. I can't remember my other teammate. I'm sorry. You, Alan, you and Ricky are doing the broadcast, and Lori for keeping us straight out here.
Well, hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. And good luck tonight. We're looking forward to seeing you on the track and what you can do with it. And we'll catch you next time, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
And that was your second place finisher, Derek Welch. And now we're going to pull up Chris Gones and get a word with him. Hey, Chris, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth, buddy. You got me?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, Chris. You had a great run in Vegas, coming in on the podium in third place there. How did you adapt to the strategy? It's pretty clean racing that night, so it was really coming to strategy and when to pit and everything.
Yeah, it was just, for me, it was one of those just trying to maintain and be consistent. I'll never be the fastest one lap guy. I will try to outlast. I kind of patterned myself kind of after the way that Mark Martin used to drive. If somebody catches me early on and they're faster, I'll let them go, which, I did that a little bit last week, letting people by and just kind of running my own race. And, I ended up catching back up to them, 10, 15 laps later, just trying to save those tires for the late in the run, which actually played to my benefit a little bit there, because I think I may have been one of the only ones that actually took 2 tires on that last stop. So I took 2 rights, and the lefts were still in good enough shape that I was able to maintain some, gain some track position there. I almost had Derek there at the end. If I had a little bit more speed, I probably would have hit him a little bit harder to move him up the track. But I basically pushed him around the whole last lap. So he held on to it and earned that second place. So, we just try and work the tires and maintain and conserve those as much as possible to be fast there at the end.
Well, that was great. I didn't realize you were on 2 tires there. Do you happen to know if he was on 2 tires?
No, I think talking with the rest of the guys, after the race, I don't think anybody else ran the 2-tire strategy. So it was a gamble for me. I'd kind of been paying attention to my lefts all night to see where they were, and I knew I had about probably 25 laps or so to run at the end when I pit. So I just trying to hold on to those and keep those in as good of condition as I could. And luckily it kind of worked out, and was able to take 2 rights and pick up those few seconds on the track. I think that's really what played the difference between me and Dylan, because he was coming there at the end, obviously. But that time I gained on track or in the pits by taking 2, I think was the difference.
Oh man, you were freaky fast to be on 2 tires. I did not realize that. That's all the more impressive when you were able to even. I mean, you were competing for second place there at the end. It was no doubt there, and you're trying to outrun fourth, who was coming strong. So there was one incident, and I'm going to show this clip now. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it at home. It's probably time delayed, but it was where you were dodging that first incident on lap 1, if I have this queued up correctly. Yes. And you went low on that one. I mean, that could have impacted your evening pretty significantly. What was going through your mind as you saw that unfolding in front of you?
It was one of those where you just try to, pick and choose where you're going to go if you see it happen. You kind of it's like playing goalie in soccer, right? You're on a penalty kick. You guess one direction and hope that that's the right way. And luckily, I picked the right way last week and just able to navigate through it. So otherwise, it was a super clean race, just kind of maintaining that. But you just got to pick and hold and pray.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely made the right call there. So, Ricky, you got anything for our third place finisher?
No, it was a good run last week, Chris. But speaking of prayers, you seem to be kind of a guy that drives like I try to drive, and careful and conservatively. And then when you come to a track like Atlanta, I know I always it's not my forte. So what do you see here tonight?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Draft tracks are not my favorite. And people that have run with me a lot, they usually give me a hard time when I say that, because I typically run pretty well at the end of the race. But I'm not a fan. I don't know what it is, but don't be surprised if you see wherever I qualify, whether it'd probably be mid-pack. But if you see me just drop to the back and ride for a while, I try and survive is the name of the game with these tracks for me. And if I can squeak out a top 10 out of it, I'll be happy.
Well, hey, Chris, man, you had a great run. I do wish you all the luck in the world tonight. This is, the reconfiguration of Atlanta whenever I'm racing it as a driver. I'm not crazy about it. I hope NASCAR doesn't spread this around to other mile-and-a-half tracks. It's good as having this one unique one, but there's just really nowhere to go. It's like taking Talladega and shrinking it down to a 1.5-mile track and then saying go at it with even less space. So I feel your pain there, buddy. But before we let you go, do you have any shout-outs for your teammates, fans, or family?
Yeah, for sure. I want to shout out on the truck every week. We've got the Waterman Fish Bar up here in Charlotte. Great place to go if you're ever in town and you like seafood, to swing by and do it. High Tide Hospitality as well. My teammates over at Trek Bar Motorsports, we've got, in this league, we got Crystal Villano and Jesse Redding, who's not going to be here tonight. So we're going to be down a teammate, which at a draft track is, kind of handicaps us, I think. But yeah, and appreciate you guys doing this, as I enjoy going back and checking these out and the whole VRL league for sure.
Well, hey, thanks, buddy. Best of luck to you tonight, and we'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a good broadcast.
Yeah, take care. That was your third place finisher, Chris Gones from Vegas. Well, Ricky, so that kind of wraps up the snapshot from last week, where things are headed. We did have some shuffling of the championship, which was to be expected. We're only 2 races in, but things are going to start to kind of shake out, I think, from the third race, fourth race on. Tonight's, really a wild card track. I don't know how you're feeling about it. I'm feeling anxious and excited. Now, I mentioned before, as a driver, not really crazy about this track, but as a spectator and from an entertainment value, it doesn't get much better than what we're going to see tonight.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'm so glad that I'm in the booth and not on the track, because I love old Atlanta. I love the strategy and the tire saving and the wideness of the track. And you can run 3 wide, and then you could run 3 wide tonight, but it's going to be a lot tighter, and there's going to be a lot more trucks around you. So, yeah, I'm happy that I'm watching this race and not participating. And the practice is getting ready to wrap up. I think we may have lost Alan there for a second. So I see that we do have.
You got me?
I've got you back now. Yep.
Okay, I must have faded for a second. So, hey, man, I agree with you. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up and get ready to get into the broadcast. For you Vigilante YouTube fans out there, please make sure you like and subscribe and post tonight, because Ricky's going to be monitoring the chat. He's going to read your posts. And for next week, we're going to do this pre-race each week. If you have something for the interviewees that we're going to have on, we'll announce them prior to the event. Make sure you post in during the live chat. We'll get you involved in the conversation. You got any closing thoughts, Ricky, before we go ahead and get ready for the primary broadcast, rather?
I'm just excited about tonight and seeing what this brings. Looks like we got a big field out here, so it should be good.
All right, buddy. All right, we'll see you on the other side, Vigilante fans.
This is VRN, your trusted leader in e-motorsports.
Wrecking.
I have no clue where I'm really supposed to be.
Going around to the stripe. Turn one.
Wrecking!
We're stopping for a wreck. Incredible parking. Sorry, I was blind.
Wreck.
Check up. One stretch. What you doing, man? I'll be on the apron.
This is VRN, your trusted leader in e-motorsports.
race fans to Atlanta Motor Speedway, one of NASCAR's most thrilling battlegrounds. Tonight, the VRL Vanquish Series takes center stage, bringing the high-octane action of the NASCAR Craftsman trucks to this legendary venue. Since its grand opening in 1960, Atlanta Motor Speedway has been a cornerstone of American motorsports. Originally known as Atlanta International Raceway, this 1.54-mile quad oval has seen some of the most intense racing moments in NASCAR history. From Richard Petty to Dale Earnhardt, legends have conquered this track, leaving behind a legacy of speed, strategy, and sheer determination. Over the decades, Atlanta has evolved, undergoing major reconfigurations in 1997 and 2021. Transforming it into a super speedway-style circuit that delivers pack racing and breathtaking finishes. With 28-degree banking, drivers must master the draft, balance aggression with patience, and seize every opportunity to make their move. Tonight, the Vanquish Series drivers will battle for supremacy, pushing their trucks to the limit on this historic asphalt. Buckle up because the green flag is about to drop, and the action starts now.
All right, Vigilante Race fans, welcome to Atlanta for round 3 of the Vanquish Series. Tonight, we're going to have 133 laps of chaos. Hopefully, it's not too out of control, and we have some great racing along the way. Your drivers are limited to 65% on their fuel. They do have one fast repair should they find themselves into some trouble, and the instant limit is set to 25 and 6. iRacing is going to control and manage the cautions, the lucky dog, and the waiver rounds. Now, between the first 2 rounds of this series, we have had some jumbling of the championship leaders. Currently, Mike Adamson is in first place, Jonathan Osborne in second, Andrew Cawthon is in third, Kelly Kill is in fourth, and David Mayberry rounds out your top 5. Now, Ricky, I'm pretty excited and pumped up about this race. I hope it's going to deliver on what I'm looking for, some good, hard, close racing. Hopefully not too much chaos and carnage. I don't want to see these guys get knocked out of the race, but I do want to see some hard-fought victories out here.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to see some really hard racing out here. I mean, the Atlanta is the, I guess you could say, the short track of super speedways almost, because it's so tight. And it's harder to pass here than it is at Daytona or Talladega. And watching practice, I know that you try things in practice that you don't try during the race. There's been a lot of carnage in practice, so hopefully they'll settle down for the start of this race.
Yeah, for sure. With that, we're going to go over some details for tonight's race. So you do have 82 Fahrenheit degrees out there for the air temp. Don't know what the track temp is currently, a 43% humidity level. We do have clear skies and a 6-mile-an-hour wind. As I mentioned previously, this is Alan Vaught and Ricky Wittenberger hosting you tonight, and we're hoping that you will go along with us. Make sure you're hitting us up in the chat. Ricky's going to be monitoring that all evening and trying to get you and work you into the broadcast. If you want to shout out another driver, just comment on the action on the track. We certainly welcome that. They should be wrapping up. We got another minute and a half, looks like, a practice, Ricky. So who do you think is going to have the advantage here tonight?
I don't know. Normally, like I said when we raced at Daytona, that it's hard to bet against Albert Anderson, hard to bet against Kelly Kill, but this is a little bit different. This is kind of a whole different animal. I think I would bet on somebody that maybe could be a little more patient early in the race, stay out of trouble, save their fast repair, and move toward the front of the field at the end of the race. But this is one where it really is a wild card. It's hard to tell. If they could make it to a green flag pit stop, it's going to separate the pack, and it could go green the whole way, and then it's strategy. But it's they're going to be on top of each other, so that's going to be tough.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, this track it's not aging like it is in real life yet. So that would take another scan from iRacing. So it's still pretty much flat-footed the whole way. You do get more tire wear here than you do at a place like Daytona or Talladega. But it doesn't come into play too much. They do have 4 sets across the wall tonight. So the racing set plus 4 more across the wall. We'll see how they manage those for 133 laps. That's not unlimited like we normally do with the super speedways. So that's going to be part of their calculus as they plan their strategy and adapt to when the cautions fall. As we're watching, the practice clock is at 0 now. We should see them start to do their qualifying runs.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. I mean, qualifying may not be the be-all, end-all of importance if you like to try to hang out at the back of the pack, but it does help you for pit stall position. So qualifying is always important. If nothing else, just to try to get a better pit stall. Be in front of the line, the start-finish line. If you're having repair to make, so you can sit on pit road longer, you got to think about all these kind of things when you're going out there to qualify.
Yeah, certainly. Looks like here we go. We got our first taker. Actually, Colin Decker is out there on the track in the number 8 machine. Let's take a quick look at maybe our driver cams here. Let me see if I can get one of these up. Colin does have one tonight. Let's see. Mr. Decker. There he is. Let's make sure everybody else. Actually, I got some other guys that we need to pull out of the screen there so we can get Colin. And there you go. Like he's pretty intense. He's up on the high side of the wall there. Yeah, they like to get pretty close here. I don't know. I haven't raced this track in a while, Ricky. Do you know what the secret sauce is to get a good qualifying run?
I actually don't. I would think maybe you still would want to run high on the first lap and wind it up as much as you can, and then keep it pinned on lap 2. And that looks like what some of the guys are doing. Is I just scrolled through several of the drivers qualifying, so that may be the play is to try to get it on the second lap.
Looks like Colin is in 12th at the moment, finishing out his second lap. We'll see if that holds for the night. Currently, Paul Durkee is holding the top position with Andrew Player in second, Derek Welch in third. No, John Gallagher just jumped to the top of the board. Great lap for him. All right, we'll see if we can get on board with somebody else here. There. I can't tell if the 53 there, if he's running. Looks like he's on the track. Maybe he just finished up his run.
He did. He's ran his 2 laps, and right now he's clocked in at 9th. And the draft master himself, Albert Anderson, puts himself up to the top of the board with a 31.550.
You called it. You definitely called it. And Tom Barris jumps up into the 5th position. Trying to get one of these guys on screen here for you guys. But as soon as I find them, they're already finishing up their laps.
Like Kelly Keel's getting ready to, he's on his warm-up lap, so he's going to have his 2 laps coming up here.
We have an onboard with Kelly too, so let's see if we can find him real quick. We're testing out these cameras so we can use them later in the broadcast for you guys. There Kelly is. Looks like he's sporting some Dale Jr. gloves there. Nice glow in his studio. Triple screens. That's a nice setup. He's running pretty high in the corners there, probably trying to gain that momentum as he's coming to the money lap.
Yeah, it looks like that's been the play for most of the guys. They've been getting their fastest lap on the second lap, so we'll see how Kelly shakes out.
He's running pretty low now. He's going to hug that bottom line. See if that works out for him. Going around turns 3 and 4. Currently sitting at 24th. We'll see what his time is as he crosses the stripe here. Jumps up to 4th position. Nice lap.
That was a good lap by Kelly. And I did notice he only lost, maybe 3 miles an hour in the corner, so he wasn't scrubbing speed too bad. That was almost a perfect lap. Everybody that's ran in the 5s, you've got 8 drivers right now that's ran in the 5s, and that's pretty tight.
It certainly is. Get you guys back over
Like-
till. Go ahead.
Kyle Vaught looks like, I guess he's making his Vanquish season debut tonight here. He's in the 8th spot right now.
It's like that might be just ran out of qualifying. We were following. Yep, they sure did. All right, Ricky, let's go over and see if we can get take a look at our grid. So Chris Gomes, we just talked to him on the pre-race show, and he goes out and takes the top spot, pole position, with Albert Anderson in second, Chris Klein third, Kelly Kill in fourth, Mike Adelson fifth, Nick Tucker in the sixth position, Dylan Bryant seventh, Kyle Vaught in eighth, as you mentioned. The ninth place position is Tom Barish, Colin Decker in 10th, Dustin Eaton 11th, Jonathan Osborne in 12th. It's like Scott Milner in 13th, Derek Welch 14th, Anthony Williams 15th, John Gallagher in the 16th position, 17th Andrew Cawthon, 18th Jeremiah Burke, Crystal Villano in 19th, Dave Mayberry 20th, 21st is Andy Player, 22nd Justin Brown, 23rd Paul Durkee, 24th Dustin Wade, 25th is Tommy Welch, 26th Justin Lawson, 27th John Schollenbacher, 28th Craig Goodenough. Actually surprised he's that far back. Maybe it was a penalty situation there, I'm thinking. 29th Jason Gaines, 30th Russ Kilgore, and rounding out your field in 31st Jonathan Marsh. So that's your starting grid this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get to the racing here shortly, as they're going to roll off pit road any moment now. Get you guys a better perspective as we get ready to roll to the green. So again, everybody, if you're watching out there, make sure you like and subscribe. Throw some comments into the chat for us if you want us to talk about anything as we get started. There should be plenty of action to remark on. Probably in the first lap, Ricky, I would imagine it's going to start right there.
Yeah, it's going to start early. It's going to happen often. Now, do they have the rule, which I wanted to clarify, the no 3 wide on the first lap of a start or a restart?
No, that's right. This league treats Atlanta just like you would Daytona or Talladega, in that there's no 3 wide for the first lap of any green flag. So the start of the race and any restart, and they can't change lanes before they reach the start finish line. So yes, that is in effect. Once they get beyond that first lap, though, they can have at it. And the whole intent of that for the admins is to make sure that they have a clean start and maybe have an opportunity to get some green flag racing in, instead of, some of the reindeer games that go on occasion on restarts that you see in officials and iRacing.
Yeah, and it's always good to have the rule of a no 3 wide on the start of a race or a restart on a plate track, just because you're worrying about everything else, trying to get up through the gears, trying to block or stay in your lane or move lanes, and taking that 3 wide out of it just makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure. As we're rounding out of turns 3 and 4 here, your leader, your pole position, is Chris Gomes out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's going to take them to the green as we're getting underway.
Green flag.
All right, and we're taking off pretty good here. Nice launch from the inside line there with the 18, pushing the 38, but outside line with, as you would expect, Kelly Kill, one of our best pushers.
Oh, we're going to wreck.
Already. Here we go. Let's see if we can find that.
Jeremiah Burke. Crystal Villano was involved. It may have started around. It started in front of Burke. He got tangled up in it, but it happened in front of him. I think it started with Colin Decker, right in front of Jonathan Osborne.
Oh, I see it right there. See if we can get a back shot here. Looks like goes with the 53. Of Jeremiah Burke. Little checkup on the outside. Looks like maybe a bit of push gone wrong, and that just checks everybody up on the outside line. They're starting to dodge, and when that close proximity on a start of the race like that, didn't look like terrible damage here for Burke, for instance. We'll see what everybody else looks like.
Yeah, I think Decker may have missed a shift on the start. That's kind of what it looks like to me. He's in front of Osborne, and as they take off, suddenly he loses quite a bit of speed. Osborne hits him and hits him again because trying to get up through the gears. Then he has to try to dive under him, and then it just stacks everybody up behind him.
Yeah, and that happens. That can happen to anybody, even seasoned pros. Even, you don't necessarily have to miss a gear. If you don't quite blip your throttle enough on occasion, it won't go into gear, and you think you've changed gears, but yet you're still in, say, second gear, and everybody else in the field is pushing you from behind pretty aggressively at that point.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Crystal Villano may have had the biggest impact in that wreck there. Her and the 20 truck of Justin Lawson both had some pretty serious impact. I'm venturing to guess both of them will probably have to take a fast repair.
See if we can get a look here. Should be going back to green on the next lap because the lights are still on the pace truck. So, new for tonight, Ricky, if you can see on the screen there, new camera is able to move around on top of this roof cam. Actually, any camera that we have on the truck. Get a little bit closer to the action.
Yeah, a little swivel action. That's pretty cool there. Being able to take a look around and not be in a static position.
Look in the chat there, we got go get them Gonesy. Some from Vincent Short there, pulling for Chris Gones.
Yep, and I can verify that at least Crystal Villano, she did not take her fast repair yet. She's tried to repair what she could, but her front end is still damaged. I would say after last week, I know that she was involved in the lap 1 wreck and then was involved in a wreck shortly after. Maybe that made her a little gun shy about taking the fast repair early, so she's going to try to weather the storm and maybe see if she could repair it.
Yeah, she's down, unfortunately, from that first incident. She's down about 10 spots from where she started. We're currently running 28th position. If she saved that fast repair, that's probably a smart move because there's going to be some more carnage most likely. If she's well enough to be able to just get some minor repairs as she goes along, that's probably the best play.
Yeah, it looks like Justin Lawson's doing the same thing. He's trying to repair what he can, and he's still got some pretty heavy front end damage, but he's rolling back out to try to rejoin the field here for this restart.
So let's jump on here with Dave Mayberry and see what it looks like from his cockpit as we go to this restart. Little roll bar action there. You can see inside the truck and how close it gets. There's very small margins for error when it comes to these speedway and super speedway type tracks.
Green, green, green.
Pace truck is off and we're underway again. It's like a clean start so far. Getting a good spread. We'll take an overhead look at how they look right now. Might be a little gun shy after that lap 1, turn 1 incident there. They don't want to tear up their truck. A long way to go here tonight. Only 5 laps into a 133 lap event.
Yeah, a long way to go. Right now, if you're toward the back and you're trying to be careful, the main thing you want to do is not lose the lead draft, though, because if you lose the draft, you're going to have a whole new problem.
Yeah, certainly. And we'll go back here and we'll take a look at it's like Jonathan Marsh. So these guys are actually off now. Let's see if we can get a different camera angle.
Oh, there's a big wreck. Big wreck coming out of 4.
Yeah, see it right there. We're driving into it.
Tom Barish Looks like he's the main truck involved.
Well, so far we are not able to get green flag running in here. Hopefully that's not or doesn't portend bad luck for the rest of the night.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the 49 truck pushed up into the turn a little and turned Kyle Vaught around in front of the field there.
Yeah, you see it right there. See if we can get on board with the 49.
Looks
Nick
like he
Tucker.
lost his nose a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I don't know. Maybe he, I didn't see him yet. A little bit right there. He touches the bottom apron. Don't know if that kind of got him off balance and he's in the turn there, but he certainly slid right up, or it could be a product of cold tires.
It looks like it could have been much worse than it was. I mean, Tom Barish obviously took a pretty good shot in that, but could have been a lot more trucks involved since that happened at the front of the field.
Yeah, sure did. So up at the front, you still have Chris Gomes, Chris Klein, Mike Adelson, Albert Anderson, and Kelly Kill are your top 5 currently. It's like Kyle Vaught's dropping down. He must have had some damage. He's down to 26. And he's sitting on pit road right now. Hopefully, let's take a look at his truck if we can get a decent look at it. Nose looks good. I would just take that opportunity since he already gotten knocked out of the groove there and dropped to the back. Maybe just took that opportunity to go ahead and top it off with fuel. That might play into his hand later on in the event.
Yeah, I think he got some left rear damage. I mean, it didn't crumple in his rear end. He kind of got it behind the tire on the left side. So I'd say he's got some damage to repair, but it's probably minimal, and he's lucky that it didn't send him into the pit wall harder, and Mayberry made a good evasive move where he drove down into the pits. So looked like everybody made some good heads-up driving there to keep it from being a bigger wreck.
Yeah, for sure. So just checking out the chat while we have some time there. We got Lori in the chat saying, sounding great, Alan and Ricky. Thanks. We appreciate that. I'm glad that the microphone is not robotic tonight. Last race in round 2, there was a setting that was off for certain there. So I'm glad it sounded well. And then we got Laffy Evans in the chat saying, let's go Chachi. I think that's in reference to Jonathan Osborne there, Ricky.
Yeah, Earl Evans in the chat cheering for his buddy Osborne, so good to see him.
Oh, that's Earl. I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, well, Hurricane Earl in the chat cheering for old Jonathan. So Osborne, he's gonna be a factor tonight. So Earl, just keep watching. I'm sure Osborne will give it a ride.
Yeah, riding on board on top of Chris Gomes' 38 machine here. You can see that the pace lights are out, which means that truck's going to duck onto pit road here momentarily, and we're going to try yet again to get this race underway and into some green flag stint running here. Oh, Earl says he's working nonstop in there in the chat. I hear you, buddy. All right, we're back underway. Green, nice launch for the 38 truck. He definitely got clear on that bottom line there with Adamson and Klein in close pursuit, but they're running side by side. And Anderson pushing on the outside. We'll see if that top line gets some momentum as we're heading down towards the backstretch and running towards turn 3.
Anderson really shoving the 18 truck of Chris Klein by Chris Gones, and now Albert thought about looking to the outside, but he tucked back in.
Yeah, he is definitely pushing to get that outside line to get momentum. They did lead that lap, but the bottom is coming back. And one of the great pushers down there in the 01 of Kelly Kill, helping to push that line along, working with the 88 and the 38.
Yeah, both lines are pushing pretty hard up front. So if I was, if I was maybe 10th or 12th on back, I'd probably be hitting a board right now and trying to get out of that mess.
As you can see, if you go back in the field here a little bit, there is a nice little spread there. Don't know if that's exactly what the game they're playing, Ricky, that you mentioned, is to try and be smart about this. Maybe let those front runners duke it out and crump each other up and take advantage of that. You're on board here with Kyle Vaught right now, racing out of High Point, North Carolina. Moving to the outside there. Definitely looks like he is playing to make sure that he keeps the draft while maintaining a safe distance to react.
Yeah, definitely. Kyle learned a lot over the last couple of years in iRacing, and he is definitely one of the smarter drivers out there. So he's going to try to probably take care of his stuff for a little while until he can get situated and see if this front pack organizes without crashing.
You can see that might be someone in danger of losing a draft back there. Tom Barish, he might be carrying some damage with him. He is definitely outside of the draft cone.
Mayberry is precariously close to being outside of the draft cone too, it looks like.
Yeah, we're on board with Mayberry right now. If we take a look at the track map, you can see that Barish in that black dot way back there, almost a turnout. He must have damage. He's not able to keep up. That's unfortunate because they're probably going to lap him pretty quick. And you're riding on board with Dave Mayberry here, and he's holding on to the draft there, albeit barely.
Yeah, he barely hung on, and he was about 10 miles an hour faster than those trucks in front of him. So now he had to run and nowhere to go with it. So Dave just backs off and gonna just settle in line, and glad that he's got the draft probably.
Yeah, for sure. Just want to move forward here. We're going to take a look. We're on board with Dustin Wade just there in front of Dave Mayberry, currently running in the 27th position. He had a good run last week, if I recall. It might have been involved in an incident, but I'm not sure. But he was fast. I do remember that when we were looking at the qualifying boards.
Yeah, and he had a really strong run at Daytona from what I remember. He was in the lead pack the entire race. So Dustin's good pretty much any track you put him on, and good drafter, and I'm sure he's just trying to bide his time right now.
Yep, and we're back here looking from the perspective of Andy Player. He is running a 26th position and racing out of Concord, New Hampshire. Great patriot, Mr. Andy Player is, and first responder. Always glad to have him. He's been with us for a long time now. Mainstay in this league and in this series as well. Looks like he's just maintaining, looking to get some laps under our belts here, which is probably the smart play considering how we started the race, and see if it comes to him with the pit strategies or maybe a misfortune for other drivers. You can see that back up there. Pretty tight. Doesn't look like they're making a lot of racing moves, but we'll work our way up that way and take this advantage of this maybe slight lull in the action to go on board with everybody and take a look at their running positions. Now on board with John Schollenbachler, the 12 truck. He's up 3 from his starting position, currently running in the 24th position. And get you a little different camera angle so we can take a look at these guys. So next, we were talking about her earlier, but Crystal Villano, she is running in a 23rd position. Truck looks okay. Don't know if she had to use her fast repair to get back in it. She's racing out of Waterford, Connecticut. Doing well. She's now passing Kyle Vaught into 16 there. And we already talked about him a little bit. But, yeah, I think she's back in it, Ricky.
Yeah, big wreck right in front of him.
Yep, sure is.
Kelly Kill is one of the trucks involved. He is probably going to have to take a fast repair.
That's not good.
Looks like Mike Adamson and Kelly Kill comes together on the back stretch. Makes contact with Dylan Bryant. The 18 slams head on into the wall. The 4 slams head on into the wall. Kilgore hits the 4. It was a big mess.
Yeah, they came together right there. Once they did that, they just got loose at that point. Just when we were ragging them, kind of riding a little bit. And if you have a wreck at the front like that, Ricky, it's almost impossible at a track like this to dodge it.
Yeah, you don't know which way to go, and everybody's trying to dodge different ways, and sometimes they run into each other just trying to miss the spinning truck. So it's just nearly impossible, especially when the whole track gets wadded and blocked up like that. When a wreck happens, it seems like when the wreck happens on the straightaway going into the turn, that's when it's really nasty, because they're going to hit that bank and then slide back all the way back across the bank.
Yeah, it was rough looking. That was a pretty big one.
And we had just been talking about Crystal Villano, and she was involved in that one. In that one, a lot of people were involved in it. Maybe she didn't get too much damage. It looked like Anthony Williams sustained quite a bit of damage. I could tell Russ Kilgore's got a decent amount of front end damage. Some drivers definitely took evasive action, was able to miss it, but that was a mess.
Yeah, I got the 18 on pit road here. The 01, he's getting some damage repaired. It's like Colin Decker going out already. Some of these other folks may have not, maybe just got a little bit of damage and are already going back out on track. If nothing else, maybe just topping off. But we got some major repairs going on here for Kelly.
Yeah, the 18's got some major damage too, it looks like.
Kyle Vaught's still on pit road. Tom Barish still sitting there. As I mentioned, Chris Klein back up here at the front in the 18. Unfortunate for them.
Looks like he's going to need some of those snap-on tools to put that truck back together.
Yeah, it looks like we got Kelly's back on track. You can see him there in his driver cam.
We are not going green.
Take a look at the front of his truck. I don't know if maybe he stayed there way too long to have not or to have used his fast repair. So I think he was going for, making manual repairs to save that fast repair for later on. Yeah, the front of his truck looks pretty good there.
With the way the race is playing out, you definitely want to save the fast repair if at all possible.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and I'm watching the replay on Kelly right now as you can see them beating the truck out as it goes. So he was getting it repaired on pit road. So we'll just see if he's got speed. Looks like he didn't have to burn the fast repair. He's still got a little bit of right rear damage for sure. But at a track like Atlanta, you would rather have rear end damage than front end damage. Now, if it was a regular mile and a half, you maybe would rather have a little bit of front end damage because it can get wicked with the rear end kicking out.
Yeah, for sure. I take one more look at this. It's showing that Justin Lawson had a crash here. Don't know if it was something after the fact. That's just showing because he stopped on the track. He's probably going to tow here, I imagine. What's going on here, Ricky?
He could have had a pit road penalty. And
letting everybody pass, probably.
End of line, yeah. Or ask for an end of line, perhaps, with the damage he's got.
Yeah. I'm going to go back on board at the front of the field here, and we'll check out the fact. Yep. The pace lights are out on the truck. Should be going green this time. We're 23 laps into a 133 lap event. Still 110 laps to go, Ricky.
Yeah. Still plenty of time to really have some more chaos and mayhem. Hopefully they can get spread out a little, but this track is just conductive to having a lot of big wrecks. And if they can keep from burning their fast repairs, they can keep wrecking, but eventually you're going to pay the piper if you wreck enough, and you're going to have to eat a fast repair. And then if you wreck, and it's all over. So yeah. I know that these guys that have had to eat a fast repair are having to be very careful.
Got Jillian in the chat saying, "Let's go, Kelly. Stay with the pack tonight." He's working on it. He looks like his truck's still clean. I'm sure he'll get back up in there. Taylor Provax, great night for VRL Racing. Let's go, number 16, pulling for Kyle Vaught. Laura in there saying, Mrs. Earl, we used to race with Earl a while back, and he's been working so hard, not able to race with us lately. Hopefully get him back in the near future. We're about to go green here. coming to 24 laps complete.
Green, green, green.
Green, green, green. Nice launch again for Chris Goins in the 38 truck. Definitely taking advantage of that number 1 starting spot with Anderson closely behind. Running in second position, John Gallagher, 123, and Mike Adamson in fourth there. Your first quad of trucks. Looks like Adamson going back just a little bit as Gaines moves up into that fourth position, and the 22 of Brown moves into fifth.
I have to give Gallagher a little bit of a hard time. I saw Earl Evans said he worked 220 hours on the last check. I think that's about how old John Gallagher is. He's one of our elder statesmen out there.
Yeah, I tell you, he's fast. You better not sleep on him. He'll come up there and snatch your cookie bag.
I would not make fun of him if I didn't like him, and I know John can take a joke. He's a really good guy.
Yeah, he's way fast. He is always up there, always in contention to win these races. Looking pretty good here. A little bit of a spread, not too much side drafting going on. There's a little bit of sliding there by that third truck in line on the bottom, which is John. We were just talking about him. So far, I'm going to take advantage of this and see if we can get us a crank it up segment in here. Hopefully, we'll get through the whole thing without having an incident that breaks it up here. Well, Ricky, looks like maybe the Crank It Up segment was our good luck charm. For those out there watching, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. You want to see more Vigilante Racing Network, in particular the Vigilante Vanquish Series every Friday night. Make sure you support these drivers. So we're back. We're still riding on board here right now with, well, get the right overlay there for you, ladies and gentlemen. That would be helpful.
Yeah, well, we was in our Crank It Up segment right there. There was a 3-wide moment coming out of turn 4. Jeremiah Burke's truck got wicked on the outside. I think he got squeezed a little. He popped the wall pretty hard. He fell back out of the lead pack, but it must not have killed his truck because he's trying to pull Mayberry, Milner, and Williams back towards that lead group.
Just trying to get us back situated. Everything's working properly. Here we go. So we're going to go to the back of the pack and work our way forward. Hopefully get through the everybody tonight. Looks like on board with the 20 truck of Justin Lawson. He's running in the 30th position. Just in front of him. Go to the next 26th position, Crystal Villano. On board with Andy Player running 25th. Tom Barris, the 55 truck. Where's he running at currently? Looks like he's running in 27th position, down 18 spots from where he started. He had some trouble tonight, racing out of Gulf Coast, Mississippi. John Schollenbachler, 24th position, up 3 from where he started, running in the 12 truck there. Hometown Louisville, Kentucky. Anthony Williams, a 4 truck out of Blanchard, Oklahoma, running 23rd. Scott Miller in the 22nd position. And Dave the Mouth Mayberry, hometown Hershey, racing out of Phoenix. Been with us since the very beginning. It's Kyle Vault back on track. Sure Taylor's happy about that. Looks like truck looks clean. Hopefully didn't have to burn up that fast repair. We'll see how he's able to work his way through the field. He's really good at these super speedways. Always seems to find a way to just kind of tiptoe through all the accidents and everything. Sometimes gets caught in them, but normally he limits the impact and the damage. Dustin Wade out of Cincinnati in the 68 truck there. It's a good looking paint scheme. Is that one of yours?
That is a Cincinnati Red special for Mr. Wade.
Let's get a close look at that. It is a nice looking paint scheme for sure. Oh yeah. And moving on forward to see if we can get through some more. Dustin Eaton out of Temple, Texas. He's running the 18th position, down 7 from where he started tonight. Been a lot of jostling, though, with these incidents, so it's not surprising. People kind of over the place from the starting grid. In 17th position, you got Paul Durkee running that 31 truck. Along with him, you got Jeremiah Burke. He's racing out of Phoenix, Arizona as well. Not too far from Dave the Mouth Mayberry. Dave has so many, I'm saying the mouth, but he has so many nicknames. It's hard to keep up. And they seem to change from race to race.
Right behind Burke, there was some contact, and looks like right in front of Dustin Eaton, Paul Durkee almost went around, but he saved it. But Burke, yeah, he hit the wall. I'm telling you, he hit the wall pretty good. And I don't know if it made that truck come alive or what, but he's drove back up, caught the lead back, and working his way back toward the front. He's driving with a mission right now.
You know, it would be the first time that Burke has slapped the wall and his truck's handling better and he gets faster. I think that happened a few weeks ago. He mentioned it to me. It looks like it's pretty straight there, looking on that right side trucks there. Go ahead.
I said, yeah, it's odd with these trucks because sometimes you can go a little faster. I've saw it myself. I had me and you were in a dust up at North Wilkesboro a couple of weeks ago, and I hit the wall and somehow started going faster. Not really sure how that happened.
That's right. I do remember that. So you got to stop hitting the wall. I don't want you passing me. Looking off the back of Jeremiah's truck there. Their little rotating cam here. Looks like they're just lined up. They're content right now to run along there, do some laps. I mean, I would too. Let's get to some pit stops. Oh,
yep.
That's Gallagher.
Drops off.
Wonder if he's going into the pits.
Yeah, he's coming into the pits. We've got to remember at Atlanta, the blend line to come into the pits is way back on the back stretch. So it looks like people are blowing up or something, but they're actually just dropping down to pit.
Yeah, he sure is. I don't know if he stayed out and was hoping or thinking there was going to be another caution, but he definitely on pit road. Don't see any damage on that truck, so this might be a scheduled stop.
More coming. There's some more coming in now. We got Gomes, Adamson, Derek Welch, all coming in.
Yeah, definitely green flag stop. So that's good. We get into this. This might end up breaking up the field just a bit. Gives us a greater likelihood of going green from this point. Don't want to jinx them.
I'll say this, with that blend on the back stretch trying to come down into the pits, that's tough. You could have somebody, make a mistake and slide back up into the racing groove. So we got to watch that of these guys pitting. I mean, that's a tough transition to slow down and stay under that line.
Yeah, your leader all night, Chris Goins in the 38 truck, is on pit road, got that number 1 pit stall. That might come into play key later in the race if we have late pit stops, but we'll see how he blends back out if he ends up losing any spots or he's able to hold on to the lead. That pack seems to be going out together. So good stops for all of them. Go ahead. There's
nearly a wreck on the back straightaway. Jeremiah Burke made contact with somebody trying to come into the pits. Justin Brown, but they done a good job and didn't wad it up, but that was almost a caution.
That's good. Hopefully we're able to. Let's take a look. We're pretty spread out around the track, as you can see on the track map there. Still riding along with Chris Goins. See how he shakes out here. We got a nice big pack going down the back stretch there. That is not who we're looking at. That looks like it's Nick Tucker, Dylan Bryant, and others. Sure is. Looks like they're trying to go long, or they were able to duck into the pits and get that fuel when we had that last incident.
Those first guys there, Alan, Albert, Anderson, Cawthon, Goins, they went 41, 42 laps, so they had been staying out the entire time, and I'm sure they had ran it dry. These guys up front now, Tucker, that group, Bryant, they've only got 25 laps on their tires and on their fuel. So I would think that even under green flag, they could probably go 7 or 8 more laps, I'm guessing. Yeah, so now the strategy is going to start coming into play. We saw this at Vegas. Did you stay out? I mean, the tires are going to be probably less of an impact for staying out, but it's going to make a difference if you're able to get on and off pit road smoothly, have a flawless stop, and make sure you keep friends with you, because that's going to be key to going fast here. If you go into pits by yourself, you're losing seconds on the competitors all around you. Yeah, and it looks like Goins and Adamson, they're running low 30s, 30.3, 30.3, 30.3. The leaders are running 31 flats. So even though Atlanta is a drafting track, you could see that they're probably 6-7 tenths of a lap faster. That's going to definitely come into play if these guys stay out a whole lot longer. Yeah, nice big pack here. And again, as I mentioned, we are spread out. We got, looks like 2 main packs, nearly half a lap away from each other, and a few stragglers in between. But we're looking at the main pack here. They're crawling out of turns 3 and 4, coming back around to the front stretch. And you can see nearly exactly 1/2 apart from that other main pack. Yeah, so it's probably going to be like it was last week, where you've got guys on maybe 3 different strategies. And I don't know the pit window, like what they should be able to run it out to. So that'll be interesting to see if these guys that have stayed out longer are going to be able to make one less pit stop, perhaps. Yeah, I tell you, it's tough to keep up with. I think in Vegas we were counting 3 or 4 different strategies we were trying to keep up with. So as we can identify, and we'll definitely discuss it here in the broadcast, but there's going to be some strategies we're just going to outright miss. Oh yeah, like last week we didn't know that Chris Goins had only taken 2 tires. That made his run even more impressive. So now tonight you could get away with that. I think a little bit at Vegas, maybe right sides only, but or tonight here at Atlanta with right sides only. But 4 tires does make a difference, and if you've got a full fuel up anyway, I think that there's an advantage just to going ahead and taking 4. Yeah, for sure. As I got you on an onboard camera here, we're racing with the 68 truck of Dustin Wade. You can see it's looking pretty intense there. Focused on this race, which you have to do. You cannot lose your focus for a moment, or you're going to be inside of the truck to your left or right, or maybe down on that apron and you're spinning around. Doing a great job focusing here and making sure that he is ready to take advantage of these pit stops and these different cycles. He's currently running in the 7th position, up 17 spots from where he started. See if we can get you another on board here. We're looking for Nick Tucker, currently running in the 3rd position. Oh, Nick likes racing in the dark. Look how dark it is in his room. Hey, Ricky, if you're talking, I can't hear you, buddy. Oh no, I'm watching and I'm observing. John Gallagher had just come out of the pits, I think, or he was going a lap down, and he tried to stay high, and he got clipped as they went 3 wide, and it knocked him into the wall pretty hard. So that's an unfortunate break for Gallagher because his truck, his right side definitely got pancaked.
I don't know who Nick's talking to there, but he's talking to somebody. Pretty intense. Let's see if we can find this next one. We'll go on board with the 8 truck of Colin Decker. Definitely want to get these driver cams in for you guys tonight, much as we can. He races in the dark too. You see how much this force feedback. I mean, people, maybe if you don't iRace, you don't realize these are laser scan tracks. So every crevice, every crease, every bump that exists in real life is simulated here in iRacing to give you the most realistic feel. And the force feedback on the equipment that we purchased to do these races gives us that simulated feedback. And it's really important for iRacers because we don't have that seat of the pants, the centrifugal force and the gravity feels that you have in a real car. We're relying much more on our sight and the feel of the wheel. And if you got a little bit of vibration in the pedal, and you tune into those things to whether or not you burn up your tires or you're sliding them and things of that nature, which a real life driver would feel more in his entire body. So when you see that kind of shift and shaking there, that's real, but that's feedback for these drivers.
There's a wreck up front. Nope, there's going to wreck. There's a big wreck up front.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Looks like while we were riding on board, unfortunately, with the 8 truck, he was one that went through the grass areas. You saw that in real time. He's recovering, didn't hit anything. And we'll go back and take a look at everybody else and see how that transpired.
I think Nick Tucker.
Oh, he's going around again.
Maybe he slid up again in 3 and 4 and clipped Dustin Eaton on the outside, and it triggered that crash. It was almost identical to the Kyle Vaught crash.
Sorry about that, Colin Decker. It's a broadcaster's curse, but we're in there trying to highlight you a little bit, and then that happens a lot, man. I feel bad when we're doing that. Let's go back and see if we can find this.
During that wreck, Chris Klein was going backwards about 130 miles an hour. He got hit pretty good with.
So we're on
that
board
was the
with
leaders
Kelly
too. That was all the leaders.
Yeah, we're on board with Kelly Kuhl here. It looks like it happens just in front of him.
Yeah, it happened. It starts with Tucker and Dustin Eaton.
Oh, right there. You see it happen right there. Yeah, it looks like that's the second time Tucker running kind of high, isn't it?
Yeah, it was almost identical to the Kyle Vaught hit, except the difference is Dustin kind of caught it. They caught it, but it checked everybody up behind them, and then Osborne gets sent spinning, and everybody behind him kind of piles into it and spins and gets collected.
See if we can get you a better shot of this. That truck can get tight, a little aero tight as well if you don't hit the corner right. At this track, more so than at Talladega and Daytona, maybe that's what's happening to him. He's getting an unexpected aero tightness, pushing him high suddenly, and he doesn't know that it's about to happen.
Yeah, and when they check up there, nothing that they could do. Chris Klein gets bumped from behind, I think, by Dustin Wade, and then it shoots him up into Osborne, and then everybody gets taken out behind him.
It's a little domino effect from that point on. '81 goes around. Kill got involved in Chris Klein. Looks like, that one truck up.
Dave Mayberry spinning through the grass there in your replay.
19 truck. Who's the 19? Scott Milner. Looks like he went into the outside wall. You see the damage on the front of Kelly there in the 01. It's like he got his nose punched in. Hopefully it's not going to hurt him too bad. He's able to get that repaired. No outright, just, into the outside wall, blowing up engines, it looks like, but definitely some significant damage to a lot of the competitors out here.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see if Kelly took a fast repair there on the pit stop. I'm trying to do a little diagnostics right here before we go green.
Well, this will jumble up the field. It looks like the lights are out atop the pace truck. Oh,
I think they may be extending. Yep, they're extending.
it just came back on. Yep, I just heard that. So it's going to jumble up the running order here. You got Mr. Paul Durkee in first place right now. Second place, Dustin Wade. Nick Tucker's running third. Fourth is Anthony Williams. Fifth, unbelievably, Kelly is still running fifth there. Kelly Kill in the 01 truck. Sixth place, John Schoenbachler. I don't know if I'm saying his name right there, Ricky. I gotta check that out after the broadcast. Scott Milner in seventh, Kyle Vault eighth, and the player is in ninth. And Dave Mayberry rounds out your top 10 right now. Looks like we got a lot of folks a lap down from 16th on, starting with Chris Gomes. Don't know if that probably likely because of the pit cycle and the way this worked out. So yeah, we might have some from front runners who are going to be trapped to lap down here.
Yeah, and Kelly Kill did take a fast repair. It looked like the 18 of Chris Klein tried to repair his truck. Tommy Welch must have had some pretty serious damage. He has retired his truck for the night. So.
Well, it looks like it. So this is our fourth caution out of 60 laps. Going to 133. We'll see if we are able to get spread out again and get some more green flag action in here. Hope this doesn't bunch us up and turn it into, cautions breeding cautions situation.
The 31 truck, I'm not sure why he didn't pit. He's trying to work some kind of a strategy. He's got nearly 40 laps, if this is correct, on his gas tank. So he's got to be almost out of gas.
Mm.
Green flag.
Green. It's like Paul Durkee in the 31 truck there gets a nice launch. However, Dustin Wade in the 68 is going to have some momentum as we get down into turn 1 and 2. He's been pushed by the Ford truck of Anthony Williams. Nick Tucker is right on the back deck leg of Durkee. Well, he goes down. Don't know what that's about unless he is pitting. He is pitting. Yeah. Nick Tucker inherits the lead here.
Now, the only thing I could think is maybe he missed pits the first time, and then you're not allowed to pit the second time. You get the black flag. So, but if you pit the second time and take the black flag, I think you've got to serve a green flag, drive through or stop. So I guess it was better for him to stay out at that point.
Yeah, I mean it's better. So if he had been put to the rear by pitting, then you got to pit under green from the rear. At least you're going in from the front at this, by doing it yourself. Save a little bit of time there. Kelly Kill right there pushing Nick Tucker for all he's worth. We know that the prowess that Kelly has in the super speedway races, in particular, his uncanny ability to be able to keep his truck cool while pushing someone so aggressively and keeping his truck straight. Sometimes it looks like he's about out of control, but it's not the case. It's all part of the way he's driving that truck.
There were several other guys that just pitted right there. You had Colin Decker pit, Dylan Bryant, Justin Lawson, Paul Durkee, all coming out of the pits. So maybe there's something else going on. They got black flagged for some weird iRacing glitch, but there's some other guys coming out of the pits too.
Right on board with Kyle Vault here in sixth position. Just taking a look at how tight this racing is. This truck's still looking a little washed out, but not as bad here in the daylight as he's passing the 68. What's up?
the 4 truck was hard into the outside wall. He kept it up and out of the way, but he's going to lose the pack. He pancaked the outside wall really hard and tried over. Anthony Williams.
Yeah, he's dropping back. Looks like he dropped in behind Derek Welch there. Maybe they'll be able to work together and try to keep this draft, but it looks like they're kind of far back to be able to do that.
Oh, Burke is around. Big wreck behind.
Caution is out.
Yep. Let's see if we can find this here. That one didn't register under his name exactly. But we'll take a look.
Okay.
Looks like it happens right here.
Yep.
Oh, he had a little bit of help. It's like the 2 truck.
If you back it up just a little more, I think he had something going on. I don't know if his truck he had damage, so he looks like he clips the apron and maybe got a little bit unsettled, and maybe Kilgore didn't expect him to back off as much as he did.
Yeah, he does look like his truck's leaning. He does touch the line there, shoots him up, which happens here. He starts to go back down, and then yep, just that slight bit of contact and turn around. Oh man, then you got Chris Klein, an 18 truck there, getting involved in that as well.
I think the one saving grace for Chris Klein, if I saw that right, I don't think that he took the fast repair on the last caution. I think that he still had it in the bag, which was a good thing if he does. Oh, and he's spinning into the pits.
Who is?
Chris Klein just spun into the pits and is pitting his truck backwards.
Oh, that's an interesting way to do it. It's legal.
And now he's headed back in the right direction.
Let's take a look at this.
Maybe he wasn't in his pit stall. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, significant damage on that. He's missing that right front fender. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of those where the fender's rubbing down, and when you hit the brakes too hard, it locks it up and it spun him out.
I don't know what that is there. Are they showing his displeasure to the 2 truck? Is that what that was?
I don't think so. I think that he may have had fender damage we couldn't see, and it was rattling on that front end, and when he hit the brakes, it spun him out. I think possibly, or he's mad at the 2 truck, which is also possible.
Yeah. Go back up to the front here. We're on board with Nick Tucker. Pace lights are out. So we're going to go green on this next lap.
You know, it's crazy. Despite all this carnage that we've saw tonight, we still got 26 trucks on the lead lap. I think, well...
I'm going to pull up Kelly real quick.
I'm pretty sure that there's 26 on lead lap.
Hey, Kelly, I know we only got a second here. You're about to take the green flag again, but you've been in a lot of incidents, a lot of action. How you feeling tonight?
I feel all right now being up front. I just hope I get a good restart here. For some reason, I'm not getting good restarts, so hopefully I can fix that on this one right here and try to get in front of Nicholas. So we'll see how it goes.
Have you had to use that fast repair, buddy?
Yep, I had to use it that last caution, or not this one, but the one previous. So I didn't want to, but I was pretty sure it was damaged. Had a wheel problem, so we'll see what happens here.
All right, buddy. Hopefully, here's hoping you keep the fenders straight on it from this point forward. Good luck to you. We'll drop you back down.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, take care. Thanks, Ricky. I just want to get a quick one in there. I know we try to review the incident as it happens, and then I keep running out of time to interview a driver while they're in the race, and I wanted to get that one in there with Kelly since he's had an eventful night. And we're about to go green here as the pace truck should pull off into pit road. Nick Tucker's controlling the field.
Green flag, green flag.
49 gets a nice launch on the inside line there. You got Kyle Vaught pushing Kelly Kill on the outside. They'll probably be able to come back here with some momentum since they're a little more well organized in the bottom at the moment. You see the 49 truck go up to the high side. He looks like he might be strategizing to play both lanes here, Ricky. That's a difficult prospect in iRacing. I know we see it happen in real life a lot, but in iRacing, lots of times it ends in tears.
Yeah, it's tough to do both lanes, and that checked up the inside lane pretty hard. They had a big accordion effect, but they was able to not crash, which is a good thing. And it is tough to try to block both lanes at Atlanta, especially. I think you can get away with it at Talladega better than any of the play tracks.
Yeah, especially Talladega being much wider. You see, he almost went up there in that front line. That was really tight. Really tight. Yeah, you got a lot more room at Talladega to maybe if they didn't play it quite right, you could, duck out to the outside line. Here, I think ducking out that outside line unexpectedly, you may lose control of your truck.
Oh yeah, definitely. We've got guys on different strategies still. This lead pack, this top 8 are 13 laps into a run. Then you've got a few guys that are 3 or 4 laps that just pitted on that last caution, but then Albert, Jason Gaines, and Justin Brown are 25 laps into a run. So I'm not really sure what's going on with the strategies here. We're going to have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, you got Kyle Vaught. He was able to push Kelly Kill out to the front there on that bottom line. Now he's getting some help from the 29 truck, or at least the 29 truck's trying to get to him to be able to help push him and maybe get alongside those front 2 runners on the bottom lane with the 49 and the 01. Kyle has been a quick study on these plate tracks and these super speedways since coming in iRacing. If you believe it or not, this driver has only been racing for about 2 years, maybe. He has honed his skills very quickly, gotten some good sage advice from some of the veterans, but it takes the skill set to be able to do it in the first place.
Oh yeah, he's done a really good job. Come along, great. If he had more time, I'm sure he'd definitely be a contender every week. But he's doing good with the time that he does have. We almost had a big wreck there while we were talking. Dustin Wade, he had some damage on his truck. He was still up at the front of the pack, but he's got some pretty significant rear end damage. He got loose in the tri-oval, almost wrecked, hit the apron, and was able to save it, but he's lost the pack.
You can see how tight this racing is here. Looks like the 29 keeps ducking out to the outside, perhaps to cool, perhaps just to run that outside line to save his tires a little bit. Not really getting up on the rear deck lid of the 16 truck to be able to push him. And he has lost some ground to the 49 on the inside, as he is right on the deck lid of the 01 of Kelly Kill. Kelly, not surprised to see him at the front of the pack here. I'm looking for him, looking for the 99 and some of these other Albert Anderson, some of these other plate drivers who are just fantastic at these places. I don't know right now. It looks like Albert's trapped the lap down in 14th, probably a victim of that pit cycle that had the accident kind of in the middle there.
Yeah, so that would be why he didn't pit. I didn't realize that those guys were still a lap down. So he's fighting for the lucky dog. He's got Jason Gaines and Justin Brown that he's battling, but that's why Albert's pushing so hard. And there's wrecking the tri-oval.
Oh no! Just in front of him as well. See if we can get a look at that. Happened just in front of us here. Looks like Gaines in an 83.
Yeah, Jason looked like he was trying to split the middle there. He's racing for the lucky dog, so he's trying to get back to Albert.
Yeah,
and
for
the
sure.
19 may have come down a little bit.
Yeah, you want to get that lucky dog, but you don't want to be the one that's that causes the accident. Let's see how this looks from his vantage point on top of his truck. Oh, he was there. It looks like that top line started to come down a bit and maybe spooked him, but it was a 3-wide situation. Is that the 19 truck? Looks like.
Yeah, and what it looks like,
Scott Milner,
because I've seen this happen plenty of times. I think maybe the 19 was driving out of his front windshield trying to draft Albert, and he didn't know that Jason was right on him right there, because I've done that myself, trying to drive and draft the guy in front of me and not even realize that I've squeezed another guy down.
Well, Albert should have gotten a lucky dog in this situation because he was the first truck a lap down when that incident went down. Let's see if we can find Albert and get a word with him real quick. Of course, looking for a name in here, man. Here we go. I found him. See if we can get him up into the server here. Hey, Mr. Albert Anderson, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth. You got me, buddy.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Were you able to get the lucky dog there, buddy?
Yeah, I was able to get the lucky dog and try to sneak down pit road here, top off the tank, throw on 4 set of stickers, and see if we can get back out and head of the pack here.
Yeah, man, we're expecting to see you up there. I think did you get caught up in that pit cycle when the accident happened and brought out the caution? Is that how you ended up lap down?
I certainly did. Yeah, it looked like a couple guys might have stayed out up there and didn't go in the pit, and it put just everybody a lap down. You know, I think from maybe 15th back or something like that. But looks like I made it off of pit road in time, and we'll get back out here and get after it.
All right, buddy. I'll put you back down. You're in All-Star Racing Room, right?
Yes, sir. Thanks for the broadcast, guys. We appreciate you.
Yeah, good luck, buddy. Hopefully you get back up there and give us a show.
10-4. I'm gonna do what I can.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys.
All right, quick one in there. Back up to the front. Didn't realize we had another lap. I probably got you in there, Ricky, but I also wanted to get him focused back on the race. Now he's back on lead lap. I'm sure he's strategizing how he can get up there and start putting the moves on these front runners.
Yeah. You know, he's going to be headed toward the front now. I wish the only thing, I don't know if he still has a faster pair in the bag or if he had to use one. That would definitely make a difference probably on how he's going to. No, it wouldn't. Albert's going to the front no matter what. He's going to try to push it whether he has a faster pair or not. So, but looks like a few of those guys stayed out. Alan Tucker, Kyle Vaught, both with 21 laps on their tires. Player and Gomes with 12 laps, they both stayed out. So the top 2 rows are on different strategies, and then everybody else behind them on the lead lap through 14th pitted and have all full tank of gas and fresh tires.
Oh, looks like we're not going green this time. Let's pull up Kyle Vaught and see what he's got to say. Hey, Kyle Vaught, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth, buddy. Hey, you got me?
Hello?
You got me? You're in the booth with Alan and Ricky. Can you hear me?
What's up, Alan?
So how's it going? You had an eventful night. You got caught up in a couple things, but you're in a good position right now. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I should have pitted with everybody else, with Mayberry and Kelly, but I don't know. We had so much fuel, and I was worried that Nick wasn't going to pit, and then everybody would get a lap back. So it's kind of nice having everybody locked a lap down. So I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good, though. Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing well. That is a strategy, you know. Whenever you got your biggest competition lap down, you know, sometimes it's worth, you know, keep staying out and keeping them trapped. I know that Mr. Anderson just got back on lead lap, so you better watch out for him. There's some more competition back there, like Mike Adamson, Dylan Bryant, Jason Gaines, and others. Jeremiah Burke. I'm sure once they get on lead lap, they'll be up there causing havoc for you guys. But you're running a great race
absolutely.
tonight. You're looking good. Nice pushes, working well with Kelly Kill there we saw earlier. You got anything for him,
Yeah,
Ricky?
I'm trying.
Now, Kyle, do you still have your faster pair?
No, I do not. I had
Okay.
about 9 minutes optional earlier. Had to use it. Huge bummer, but I'm just going to try to side draft my way and keep the front lane up here. See how it goes.
All right, buddy.
Hang
We're
on
going.
to it, buddy. We're watching you.
Yeah, we're
Thanks,
watching.
y'all. Appreciate you.
Take care. All right, I like this in race interviews. I think kind of livens things up, spices it up, and opportunity for our viewers out there to hear from their favorite drivers in the broadcast. As we're going to get back on board here with Nick Tucker, we're going to ride with him as he does this restart, and then we'll take a check on the chat there, Ricky, if we get a clean one here. How about that?
Sounds good.
Green flag, green flag.
Here we go. Nice launch there for the 49 truck He is looking at his eyes. He is laser focused on what he's doing at the moment. Nice swing to the outside, get him a nice arc in there and momentum. May have gotten out there a little bit too far, Ricky. Sometimes that can happen.
Yeah, you don't want to get too far ahead at a track like this because the run comes fast, and you definitely can't block it if the guys are coming a little bit too fast. Oh no! Kyle's turned around.
No. And we just talked to him.
Oh, Dustin Eaton's crashing. Osborne gets a piece of it. I think maybe Kyle. He's pretty well toasted. I thought he might be okay until I saw his rear end.
Yeah, see if we can get on board with him because that's where it seemed to start at. And we'll so just slightly. Oh no. It's like another one of those where that second truck in the bottom line just seems to come up a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, don't want to say this the wrong way. Andy Player is one of the cleanest drivers that I've ever driven around. And when you have guys like him that bounce up off the bottom and come up into traffic, there's something to the bottom lane and washing up because he doesn't make too many mistakes like that. So, Player, he's a really clean driver. And I heard him on the radio. He feels bad about it, but that happens. So we all make mistakes.
Yeah, it looks like might be a little bit of net code there. We'll see if we can get a better look at it from a top-down perspective. Nah, that was contact. There was just an angle I had on that camera. But yeah, something about that bottom line, especially the second position, and they're pushing it. They seem to don't know if it gets suddenly tight or what's going on there.
I'm not really sure. Some of it could be you're trying to watch the guy in front. Well, actually, when we talked about Tucker having such a good run and maybe getting too far out ahead. Player ran up on him really fast, and it looks like he backed off right as he got to him. Kelly gave Player a bump draft going into 3 as he tried to back off, and I think that's what upset Player's truck and sent him up into Kyle after watching that back again.
All right, we're going to get a quick word with Mr. Nick Tucker. We got him on the screen here. Hey, Nick Tucker, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
All right. Hey, man, you up there holding that top spot there. We got you on your driver cam, driving in the dark. Look very intense whenever you're doing those restarts. How's it going for you tonight?
It's going pretty well, besides having a little bit of net coding problems. But besides that, it gets really loose out front and then really tight as soon as somebody pulls in front of you. So it's kind of a fun game to bounce around with.
Yeah, we've noticed that a couple of times where we wonder why the truck, as they fall into the corner, is just kind of sliding out, especially from that bottom line. Ricky and I were just discussing that. Hey, Ricky, you got anything for our leader here as we get ready to go back green?
Yeah, buddy. What's your strategy? 26 laps on your tires. Are you trying to stay out as long as you can before you hit the pits?
Yeah, I'm basically just trying to run this fuel run out all the way, run it dry, because I should only have to stop one more time. So as long as I feel like I can execute and hopefully not get caught up in anything, I think we should be all right.
All right, buddy. We're going to let you focus here. We're going to drop you back down. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, take care. All right, just taking a quick look at the chat here. Not a lot more. Say, hey, Mama Lori from Taylor Provax. Lori's talking to her, everyone. She's asking you guys to like and subscribe, so please do that. It helps out the channel, helps out the league. Ashley Osborne in there. Hi, Miss Lori. Hope these fellas are acting right. We're never going to act right. That's why we have to keep her around to keep us in check. So I think there might be pipe dreams there. What do you think, Ricky?
Yeah. Acting right is not part of the vocabulary in Vigilante, and that's part of the fun.
Here we go. Nick's going to take them to the line here.
Green flag.
Oh, nice launch. 49 on the inside line. Mr. Kelly killed right there in that bottom. That's going to be a pretty potent combo there if he gets up behind him and starts to push him on that rear deck there. You got the 13 of Andy Player leading the outside line. Looking pretty organized there. They should make some momentum, be able to pull up alongside and make this pretty racy.
Yeah, Williams is going to give Player a shot down the backstretch, and Player looking for the lead after almost being in calamity just a few laps ago.
Yeah, see if we can take a good look here off the roof of Mr. Player's truck. You can see just how tight this racing is. Yeah. Losing a little bit of momentum on the outside there. Looks like Kelly's going to stick with the 49 truck and just try to pull away a little bit there. Oh, well, Mr. Dave Mayberry sneaking up in there in the third position on the bottom row in the 29 truck. Red Bull Ford Racing. Where are you looking at?
There was contact right behind Albert Anderson, but they made it. It was the 20 truck and a couple others, and they somehow made it through there.
Caution's out. Caution is out. Looks like this may have happened.
Tom Barish, Russ Kilgore is the truck that was backwards.
Let's see what we got here.
In front of him. It started with Mike Adamson and Justin Brown.
Oh, it looks like, yep, that Michigan machine was going for the middle there. Maybe got spooked by the 14, it looks. We'll see if we can take another look from a different angle here. Go off the nose. 14, yeah, it comes down a little bit there, and then that's when you see the Michigan State truck come into the picture there. A 22 truck. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Kilgore gets caught up in that, too. Nothing that Mike Adamson could do there. He was down. Once you get down on that grass, it's like being on ice, and he just throws him up right back up on the track. He had his wheels locked down there.
Yeah, Adamson was 158 miles an hour sideways through the grass. He done a heck of a job of what he was able to do. There's nothing you can do, though. You're going to come back across the track, and it's just a matter of can the guys miss you or not. And I'm sure if you watch Kilgore's on board, he probably didn't even see Adamson coming. It was like a missile.
It's like Adamson pancaked the right side of his truck pretty good there. Don't know how he's looking on his fast repair, but his right front fender is definitely hurting. Probably got some wheel damage there. Yep. As we go back to our live look here.
Yeah, and Kilgore had already used his fast repair, so that effectively knocked him out of the race. He's out. He was blown up on the outside wall. There's nothing else he could do tonight. He had to just park it on the trailer.
Yeah, I'm looking for see if we can find us another quick interview. Let's take a discussion real quick with Mr. Andy Player, running there in the third position right now. Hey, Mr. Player, this is Alan and Ricky in the booth. You got me, buddy.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Hey, you're doing all right. You up there in the third position, doing pretty well yourself. How's it going for you so far?
Most part pretty good. I feel bad. I got into Kyle earlier, and I think I ruined his night, so that kind of stings. Stings the old ego a little bit, so I really apologize to him about that. But other than that, we're up here. We're in a good spot, and just wait to see how this thing plays out, and hopefully we can stay clean and green.
Yeah, we noticed it seems like some drivers, especially like in that second or third position on the bottom there, get tight going into the corners suddenly. Is that how the dynamics are working or feeling to you inside the truck?
I gave Nick a bump going into turn 3 there, and I think Kelly might have given me a bump. At least he came up on the radio and said he thought he might have gotten to me a little bit too hard. I don't know. It slid up the hill, and I got into Kyle and ruined a lot of good trucks.
All right, you got anything?
I don't like that. I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Happens to all of us. Ricky, you got anything for our third place runner right now?
No, Andy, don't beat yourself up. It looked like when you got into Nick there, Kelly got into you, and it was just a little bit of a chain reaction thing. Keep the wheels under you, and good luck for the rest of this race.
All right, hopefully we'll be able to talk to you a little bit later on tonight.
Sounds good, buddy. Good luck. All right. Getting some good interviews. Unfortunately, it's at the cost and the price of having cautions. We should be going green here. The pace truck should duck off, give it control back to Nick Tucker.
Dustin Wade is running 5th, and his truck is bent up in the back end still. And I know he got loose earlier, so I'm going to watch him a little bit on this restart, see if he can keep it under him.
Okay. Yeah. Back under green as the 49 Nick Tucker truck gets a nice jump out there. The 01 Kelly good jump as well on that outside line with Dave Mayberry behind him. We'll see if and their teammates. We'll see if those teammates are able to work together, keep the 13 down that low line, and not able to jump up in front. Doesn't look like it. 13 takes advantage. So now Kelly's going to be right on him, and that's going to be a pretty good combo because Kelly is one hell of a pusher. Pushes him out immediately to the front. Maintains control of the top line.
Yeah, now Kelly's going to have to rely. A
Oh.
little bit of a side-to-side, right-side romance going on there.
Yeah, a little.
How do you do?
How do you do between the 01 and the 49? Oh, or 91.
Kelly's,
Go ahead.
Oh, Kelly is, I don't know if he's trying to get down or just trying to side draft. He's got a, I'm sure he is yelling at the mouth to get on his bumper and push. And that's what he needs right now is somebody to get a little closer because that inside lane is tucked a lot tighter.
Yeah, they're definitely more organized. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know why he's not a little bit closer to him unless he's just trying to make sure that he doesn't accidentally bump him into the wall or something. But you can see that high line he's running there. It's not doing Kelly any favors. You need somebody more aggressive to be able to get up alongside there. So now he's having to aggressively side draft even to maintain his track position there on the outside line, outside of second row.
Hey, Kelly right now is showing why he's so good at the plate tracks because he's doing a lot of this without a whole lot of help. But, man, it is so tight. 1 millimeter wrong move and you're wrecked.
Let's take a look off of the roof cam. So high that Dave's running there. He's starting to get past, actually. He's dropping back. Maybe he's not comfortable with what's going on out there. As you not watch the 99 truck, the Country Time Lemonade there go by. We knew that Albert was going to find his way up towards the front there once he got back on the lead lap.
Oh,
somebody in the middle there.
These trucks they're evil. They are evil, right?
Oh.
Brian, head on into the wall.
That 68 truck looked like that was the one you were watching, right?
Yeah, he looked evil, but then there was 2 or 3 trucks behind him that looked evil about the same time. It was like everybody was moving around like there's on ice right there.
Looks like Dylan. Oh, yep. 55 truck. It was like Tom Barish. Maybe a bit of net code there. They're running 3 wide. Let's take a top-down look at this. Yeah, there was contact, but it was maybe a slight bit of netco, but it was 3 wide. That's hard racing. That's just unfortunate right there.
Yeah, just a tough break. And there was so many guys right there all at the same time. And I know we were watching apparently the same thing. I had been watching Wade because I knew his truck had all that, his rear end's messed up. And he don't have any downforce on the back end that he got a little bit sideways. And it seemed like 3 or 4 other trucks behind him got sideways and it just kind of jammed everything up.
Looks like the 01, the 14, and the 4 have elected to stay out here as the rest of your leaders duck on the pit road, Nick Tucker and others. Let's see, do we have... Let's jump on board with some of our other drivers here. Is there anything new in the chat there?
Yeah,
as I'm looking for this?
Yeah, she's good to see her back. She's been missing all the excitement of the VRL, so good to see her in the chat. Her and Earl Evans talking a little bit back and forth. So that's what we got going on in the YouTube chat.
Let's see if we can take a ride along here with Mr. 53 truck here, or Mr. Jeremiah Burke. Looks like he may be stuck on pit road here. Gonna pull him up and have a conversation with him. As soon as I can find him. And there we are. Hey, Mr. Burke, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth. You got me, buddy.
I got you.
Hey, man. Looks like you might be tore up. What's going on?
Just getting beat up out here. Hit the wall earlier, got a little spin out, got 8 minutes of damage. We're down to about 2 now. So I'm just going to see if I can fix it. I don't want to use the fast repair because I know the second I do, I'm going to get involved with something else. And we don't want that yet. So I'll try to get here or see where we go from here. If we get down to like 15 laps to go, I'll use fast repair and hopefully we can get the lap back. Those guys staying out I don't know what the thought process was there. Trap us all a lap down just to go a lap down themselves, but we'll try to get back on this lead lap and see if I can make a race out of it here in a minute.
Well, I'm wishing you good luck here, buddy. Rick, you got anything for Mr. Burke?
Yeah, no, it looks like probably a good idea that you saved that fast repair. So hopefully you can get back on the lead lap and make a race of it here toward the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it hell. See what we can do.
All right, good luck to you, buddy. Which team channel did I pull you out of?
All-Star.
All-Star. All right, man. Hey, good luck. I hope you get back on lead lap and start chopping it up with those leaders.
Thank you.
Sounds like he's having a frustrating night, Ricky.
Yeah, you can tell, but I mean, guys like Burke, they just grind and grind and grind. And if he's went from 8 minutes of repairs down to 2, and he's still just 1 lap down, he's got a chance to get back in this race. He is fighting for the lucky dog with Andrew Cawthon and Paul Durkee. They are the 3 trucks 1 lap down.
Well, we're going to go green here. You got Mr. Kill bringing them back to the start of this alongside Dustin Eaton. See what kind of launch Kelly gets.
Green, green, green.
We're back underway. Good launch for him. 14, not too bad either. Good reaction time there for the outside line. We'll see if which one gets organized first and starts to get up there and run along with Kelly. We're starting to get into the closing laps of this race, 98 of 133. These are going to go by quick, most likely, unless we keep wadding up the trucks in the backstretch here.
Yeah, but I mean, I know some of the guys are out of fast repairs now, so too many more wad ups, and you're going to start seeing more trucks drop out of the race.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to see that. Yeah, not at all. So far, so good. Don't want to jinx this. Looks like we got a good restart here. Good competitors at the front. Let's see if they can keep it clean.
That's a strong outside groove you got there with Eaton. You've got Albert on the outside. Osborne, Gones has been really fast all night. They're all in that top lane. And Dustin Wade with that really tore up truck somehow hanging in there.
Let's see if we can't go on board here with Mr. Derek Welch in the 21 truck. See how things are looking for him. He's kind of in that danger zone right in the middle of the pack right now. He's running in the 11th, 10th to the 12th position, looks like, depending on where they're at in the corner. Super intense. Up on the wheel, though, you can see. Sporting stars and stripes. I always support that. That's awesome.
Oh, there's a big wreck in front of him. Is he going to make it through? Oh, the leader's wrecking.
Oh, no. Is he still going to make? Oh, it's still coming down in front of him. Oh, no. We'll go back and take a bigger look. We were riding on board with Derek. Looks like he came through relatively clean. Let's see if we can get back here and take a look. Albert's involved in this one, along with Dustin Eaton as well. We'll take an overhead shot.
The 4 truck looks like he pushes up in the tri-oval and it starts a chain reaction.
Got a little bit ahead there. Let's back this up a little bit. Oh, Kelly's involved with this too. So your 2 leaders are involved in this. This is not going to be a good angle. Let's see if we can move this back to where we can have a good view of this.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with this wreck, as it happened with all the leaders.
Oh, this is again. Look at how the Ford just juts off the bottom and hits that first truck in the outside line. We've seen that 3 times tonight, Ricky?
Yeah, I think he was trying to push. I don't know if he, maybe lost. It's really tough going through the tri-oval pushing. Yeah, lose visibility a little bit, and just got a little too high.
Man, took out both of the front trucks there.
It took. I don't think I've ever seen a wreck at Atlanta that took out literally the top 8 trucks, but I think that one did. Now they're not all damaged to the point where they can't keep going, but I am pretty sure 8 trucks that was all in the front 8 crashed.
Oh man. Albert is almost clean. He is almost clean through that, and then just gets tapped by the 49.
He still does a good job. I don't think he hits anything.
He's right in the middle of the track. Truck looks good. Yeah, you're right. I don't think he took any damage other than burning those tires pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, he may have a little left rear damage, but it could have been much worse from that kind of a crash. Andrew Cawthon, same thing. The way he spun, he was able to not get too much damage in that, but that was very big. I mean, you have big ones, but you don't usually see a big one, like I said, that wrecks literally the entire front back.
Yeah, Albert's still up in the 7th position, so that spin didn't hurt him too bad. I don't know where he was actually running before he got that little trip down into the. Well, actually stayed up on the track mostly. It's so lucky since he was right in the middle of the track not to take any more damage from other trucks coming up on him.
Well, no one else is disconnected that was from that wreck, so all the guys are either able to take a fast repair or, as I say, that Dustin Wade does disconnect. I knew his truck was damaged pretty good, and he was in that one, so I guess his damage was irreparable. But Kelly's still sitting on pit road, and looks like he's a lap down now, so his truck must be hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Let's get Craig Goodenough here in the booth and have a discussion with him. Hey, Craig, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth. How you doing, buddy? Can't hear you if you're talking to us. Looks like you're talking to us. Nope, can't hear him. Can you hear him, Ricky?
No, don't hear Craig.
All right, buddy, we're just trying to get a quick interview with you. We'll drop you back down. Which room was he in? Do you remember? Team he's on?
Should have been in Team Tang.
Tang, gotcha. There you go. Give me a thumbs up. It's unfortunate. That'd been a good interview. Talking with Mr. Goodenough there. Always a great competitor.
Yeah,
he's having some trouble tonight, though.
Yeah, he pitted under green once, and I'm not really sure what was going on right after a restart. So we'll have to figure out what happened to him after the race.
All right, we're going back green, and you have Jonathan Osborne leading them to the stripe out of Woodbury, New Jersey. Doesn't get the greatest launch there. 13 gets the better part of that one on the outside. Might even be able to clear him before he gets to the corner. Now it looks like the momentum is going to come back. You got Mr. Bayberry in the bottom line, the 29, supporting Jonathan Osborne. Trying to see who's up with Andy Player pushing him.
That's Welch pushing Player.
21 truck, Welch. So this should be a pretty good battle. And your ever lurking 99 Country Time Lemonade truck there. Told you we couldn't count him out. Go ahead, buddy.
Let's give a shout out to John Schoenbachler. That he has been near the front most of the race, kind of quiet. I don't think I've seen him around too much with all the chaos. So good on him to be up here in the top 5 toward the end of the race.
Yeah, doing a great job. I mean, just staying out of the wrecks and everything.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. He almost went around there in the turn.
Riding on board with him, taking a look off of basically just behind his driver's door. You can see how he doesn't capture it on some of the TV camera angles, but how much these trucks are moving around, both in the draft and just the track itself as they fight to get it around these turns.
The aggression, even though it's been aggressive the whole race, it's picked up. And maybe this is why I don't usually do as well on plate tracks, because I would still be hanging out at the very back of this pack just thinking there's going to be a couple more.
Yeah, for sure. We only got about 25 laps to go here. We're getting down to the very end to see who we're going to crown champion of this race tonight. 13 gets a great run on the outside off the nose of the 21. Looks like they're choosing. Somebody just clipped the wall there. Looks like they're choosing to stick together as a tandem. Might work out for them, actually.
Craig Goodenough is blinking pretty bad right now, so maybe he was having some connection issues. He is definitely blinking in and out really hard on my perspective.
Yeah, for sure. That could be part of the issue. And we'll get an interview with him next time. Anything going on in the chat, Ricky? I haven't been able to take a look here recently.
No, we're still pretty well the same as we was there earlier in the chat. Lori was hoping to see an interview, I think, with Craig, but he got some FaceTime anyway.
Let's see where. Yeah, he's still running in 20th position. He's up 8 spots from where he started. He just must, like some of these other really good drivers, got caught up in that pit cycle where there was an accident in the middle of it. Man, they're super tight up here, and the margins are tight in these moves they're making. Somebody's still scraping the wall there, Ricky. Oh.
That's Craig. He's got some connection issues. That may be what put him the laps down earlier.
That's unfortunate.
Kelly Kill back out there. He's telling everybody he's going to stay high, but the leaders are going to catch him in a bad spot. So we're going to have to watch that as the leaders approach turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, and there he is. We'll take a look off of his nose. That's not what you want to see.
He's 20 miles an hour slower than the leaders, so that's going to be interesting.
Let's see where he decides to take it. Going to start the high line.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so tight and so sketchy. Does a great job of keeping it up there.
Oh.
Kelly's an incredible sportsman. He definitely doesn't want to hurt anybody else's races. He's just wrestling that truck to keep it going straight.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of damage. He's probably still got quite a bit of damage trying to. I mean, he's racing for points, so he's got to try to make as much as he can.
Yeah, he was coming into this race. He was running 4th in the overall championship standings. So every point counts. We've had it so many different times in this league, Ricky, as you recall. 1 point makes a difference whether you make the show. Oh, no, the 13. Oh, did he save it? Oh, incredible save. Oh, no.
Oh, but then the 4. Oh, no.
Hang on to it. Don't get any more damage. Both of them looks like they're going to come okay. This thing. Oh, now the caution comes out. Well, you saw it in real time there as we're taking a look. What an incredible save by Andy Player. I thought he was going around for sure, and he was able to wrestle that truck back under control and still not receive too much more damage as he got back on the track.
Osborne, he pushes up in the corner. It looks like the same situation that we've seen several times tonight.
We'll go up here and we'll take a look at that. Get you a better angle. Yeah, it just shoots. It's like it shoots up off the bottom, Ricky. I don't know what it is about that. And that's the second time we've seen that coming out of 4 where that ends up happening.
Yeah, it's tough to say. We're not out there, so I'm not really sure. But it is weird that it keeps happening in turn 4.
Yeah,
and
Jonathan has great car control. And look at that. It just moves all of a sudden. It's like he loses a nose or something. Oh, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and Anthony Williams was checking up for player spinning, and he gets tapped in the back, and he got sent into player. Player would have saved it completely, I think, if it had not been for that. But it was just one of those checkup deals. That could have been really big. And then as the wreck was developing, it looked like Burke almost crashed and was able to save it in 1 and 2. So it was a lot of guys made some good moves there, it looks like.
Yeah, and now Andy's back to 13th, 14th position there with that spin from the lead. Don't know in 19 laps as tightly packed as this track is, he's going to be able to make it back up there, but we'll see what he can do with it.
I would never say never here. We do have some chats. Dustin Wade out of the race in the chat said thought a good run, got taken out. Liking the broadcast. Thanks, Dustin. Dylan Bryant didn't have his fast repair clicked when he had the tow, so they couldn't fix the damage. Man, that's iRacing really should fix that. Where is with the technology they got, if you tow and you come into the pits and you're destroyed, but you have a fast repair, it should auto check that for us because we got so much going on. That's really unfortunate when something like that happens.
So there is a way to change that. You got to go into the app INI file and change it where it's either automatically off or automatically on. If you have it automatically off, I wouldn't recommend that because in the heat of the moment, I've done it. You've probably done it where you don't remember to turn it on, and now you're sitting in there without your fast repair and you can't do anything because you have a blown up engine. So there is a way to change that. It's just you got to pick one way or the other.
Yeah, and I've had the opposite happen where you come into the pits and you maybe scrape the wall and you accidentally had it on and you take your fast repair and then you're like, well, that was a waste of a fast repair. So it happens both ways.
Yeah, for sure. See if we can get a look at some of these other drivers. Colin Decker has made his way back up to 4th position. I think he was involved in some issues earlier in the race, but now, yeah, he's on board, running in the 4th position. Take a look at his dark room. He's definitely locked into this race, making sure he's focused on nothing but this driving. We should be getting ready to go back green here, Ricky. We'll see if we'll stay on board here with Colin Decker as he goes through this. We'll get a perspective from inside of his truck.
Yeah, sounds good. I was looking at the last time these guys pitted, Derek Welch, Osborne, Decker, they all got 21 laps on their trucks, but with the cautions we've had and knowing that they made it in the 40s the last time with the amount of laps we got left, I'm thinking that everybody can make it.
Yeah, it should be pretty close there. Unfortunately, we are working our 11th caution, but you kind of expected at a track like this. It's the smallest of margins that ends up causing these accidents and end up being pretty big. So, as I mentioned, we should see the pace truck duck off here through the windshield. You can see the limited visibility that Colin has from that outside line, and mostly see the rear deck of the truck in front of you. This is what makes it so challenging at these super speedways. You're pushing and you're almost blind, and we're back under green. Derek Welch is going to lead him back to the stripe. We're staying on board here with Colin Decker inside of his truck as he goes through the gears. Oh, does he miss a gear?
I think I don't know if he missed a gear, but he definitely got pushed a little bit and it got him squirrely, but he was able to catch it.
Somebody might have lifted the tires off the ground on the backside of him there. Colin's he's holding on to 10th right now, really focused. It's unfortunate for him.
And just regroup and, he's still got plenty of time, plenty of laps left.
Yeah, at least he kept the fenders on it, kept it straight, and it didn't get involved in an accident there. But I'm sure he's disappointed. He dropped down. I think he was running 4th at the time. He's back down to 10th position. As I mentioned, Derek Welch took him back to the line in 21 truck. He's up 13 positions from where he started tonight. Having a good run. Don't know what his damage is looking like as far as has he used his fast repair. Hopefully we don't have to worry about it with 16 to go, coming to 15 to go at the line. Nick Tucker's been up front and strong much of this evening, running that outside line with the 81 in tow, helping to try and push him up alongside the 21. And then we do have cameras for both the 21 and the 49 of Nick Tucker. We'll see if we can get a look at some of these and see how intently they're running this. It's like Nick took the front there. We'll go on board with the 21 truck of Derek Welch. You can see he's kind of coming up off the line on the bottom too.
Anderson gets a good run on the bottom, uses a side draft. Now he's got Osborne pushing him. They're going to make a play for the lead here in just a second.
Anderson's up to 3rd position.
Oh, and Derek jumps up in front of Albert. Decides that he wants to go with that country time lemonade truck. And boy, Schoenbachler pushes up, and man, we almost have another wreck.
Yeah, Country Times right there, pushing on the outside line. Hell of a pusher, as we know. The 99 is working well with the 21. 21's aggressively side drafting there. And you just see how they just somebody in the wall. 83.
Oh, big wreck. Oh.
Oh no, 29's on his lid. 83's on the outside wall.
Mayberry's yelling for help. Looks like he actually does need it this time.
Oh, wow. Where did this start? Looks like
the 83 truck.
Let's take a look from this angle here. Oh, yep. Then you go a little further forward there. Get on board with Jason Gaines. We did see him hit the outside wall. Yep, and just bouncing back down into traffic. Oh, you just see the carnage just behind him there. 29 went for a ride. We're going to have to get 29 up here in the booth. Take a listen with him.
Oh, the 8 truck just got destroyed. Poor Colin Decker. He was having a good ride. Mayberry upside down. Burke, I don't know if he took that fast repair yet. I hope he didn't, because he got wadded up there too.
Yeah, Mayberry's on pit road there. Let's pull him up to have a word with him. Hey, Dave Mayberry, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth, buddy. You got me.
Yeah. Could you send a medic my way, please?
Yeah, you look like you're going to need more than one. On your lid, you went for a ride. I hate that for you. I don't know. You're not looking too good on your fast repair. You already use it?
No, I got my fast repair, but I had the tow. So I got 3 more minutes sitting here, and then I'm going to get my tires and be on my way. But it's I think that was a race ender there for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, with so few laps to go, buddy, it probably is. Make sure your fast repair is turned on once that tow's complete. Ricky, you got anything for the 29 truck?
No, Dave. Sorry to see you upside down. I heard you yelling for help. That was pretty epic in the chat. But you was having a good run, buddy. Sorry to see you upside down. It looks like there's a lot of people that's been wrecked tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been watching me, but I have some rear end damage. So in the turns, it's rough. I'm loose, but I didn't want to pit and lose my position, but I should have, because here I am.
We were wondering, it looked like when you were behind Kelly, your teammate up there on the outside, when he was leading the outside line, you kept going further and further out, not really able to give him much air. Is that kind of a product of the damage you had to your rear end?
Yeah, my rear end, it was really loose. Yeah, I drifted a couple times. I thought I was going to lose it once or twice.
Well, man, I hate it for you. I know you were running hard. You were at the front a lot this evening, and yeah, we were hoping to see you kind of battle it out to the very end there. Unfortunately, Karma, well, not Karma so much, but Lady Luck was not on your side this evening, and you ended up on your lid. I think the only one I've seen flip tonight. Ricky, is that the first one we've seen?
Yeah, Dave, you managed to be the first one to flip in
Barrel
about
roll.
44 crashes.
I was hoping at least I'd land on my wheels, but I didn't, so I had to tow.
Well, one thing for the
evening. You got a new nickname, Turtleberry.
Turtle. Yeah, great.
Well, you're going to end up on the highlight reel for next week's race, though. So that's the only plus and positive you can take from this.
Hey, that sounds good to me, man.
All right, buddy, we're going to drop you back down. Thanks for chatting with us. Unfortunately, under these circumstances, have a good night.
That's all right. Take care.
All right, Dave Mayberry, what a ride he took. That is the first, I think, barrel roll and spinning on your top that we've seen so far.
Yeah, the trucks have been pretty solid to stay on their wheels all night until that little mishap. And there is a bunch of trucks that are beat all to crap, just to be honest, that are running right outside the top 10. So I don't know what's going to happen over these last few laps. I don't think anybody on the lead lap's out of this. Even if they're tore up.
If you can believe it, Kyle Vaught has kind of recovered from his woes. He is missing his entire back, looks like his tailgate, but he is up to the 12th position.
Yeah, just hanging in, just grinding, doing what he has to do. And, he may get a top 10 out of this without a rear deck lid.
Yeah, and just stay in these races sometimes. You just got to keep going back to green. Actually, I am not. There we go. And Nick Tucker, I missed that. His 49 truck got a nice launch. He is maintaining a lead with, as you mentioned earlier, up 25 spots. The 12 truck of John Schoenbachler, dropping a little bit there, but he is up front. He's pushing that 49 truck for all it's worth. We're right there with Dustin Eaton, the 14 truck, lying in wait. And we haven't talked a lot about him tonight, but he's been up there. He's fast. He's won at this track, as we know, by probably the closest margin we've ever had in the Vigilante Racing League. But he's one to watch if he can get hooked up with the right folks there. 81 to his outside, and looky there. 99 Anderson, second on that outside line.
He's pushing Derek for all that he is worth, and Derek's hanging on to it. Welch in the 21, and Tucker hanging hard on the inside, though. Hanging tough. It's going to be come down to who can push the hardest and keep it straight.
You see that 12 truck there, good looking Coca-Cola Jim Beam truck. Tightly pushing the 49. It's going to come down to, honestly, the person winning this race most likely going to be attributable to the second row and the pusher. Looks like they're coming up on
Mayberry. So let's see where Mayberry goes to try to get out of the way. We know his truck's repaired, but he's still going to be slow.
Caution's out.
There's caution. Osborne is wrecking, as is Paul Durkee.
You see Osborne right there, just behind the Country Town Lemonade truck. Oh, just another one of those up off the bottom.
Oh,
yeah, that would hurt.
31 is definitely done. Hitting the wall like that.
That's rough. See if we can get another view from a different truck here. Already in progress.
Yeah, Craig Goodenough gets a piece of that. Looks like the player snuck through.
Actually, 81 looks like he's coming down. 31's coming up. It's just this track, especially in that front stretch when you got kind of the two bends. It's a quad oval, super speedway type of racing. So it does get sketchy through there. It really does, just from my experience on this track.
Yeah, I hate running the outside through that quad oval because you lose your sight sometimes, especially if you're in the pack. But on the inside, if you miss the bottom, you push up, kind of like we saw several times tonight, and run up into guys. So it is not a fun transition right there through that quad oval, whether you're high or low, if you're in a lot of traffic.
Looks like this is it, Ricky. We are 3 to go when we cross the line. This should be the green-white checker. And you have Derek Welch out front there. Nick Tucker in second, Albert Anderson in third position. So he's going to end up being on the bottom line, pushing Derek. Of course, the leader does have lane choice, so it depends on what Derek wants to do here. But I think we've seen the leader primarily take the bottom line.
Yeah, but I believe Derek Welch and Albert Anderson are on the same team. So it wouldn't surprise me for. Well, no, Derek would stay on the inside. I can't. I'm an idiot. I can't. My inside and outside was all messed up. Albert will restart on the inside, so Derek Welch should definitely restart on the inside to be right in front of his teammate.
Yeah, that is, unless they want to make sure their team wins and they want to take both rows, but that could end up in disaster too. Non-teammates pushing you, not familiar with each other as much, and how you push, when to push, the tendencies of each other. So we'll see how this works. But I would agree with you. If I'm a betting man, I would say Welch is going to take the bottom line in front of Anderson.
Yeah, and that would put Welch, Anderson, and Eaton as the inside trucks. Tucker, Schoenbachler, and Gones as the outside trucks on the restart.
So on your screen now, you see Mr. Derek Welch just sitting there looking like a man knowing what's coming. Got to get a good restart. Got to get off the line, not spin the tires. Got to hope that your teammate's going to give you a nice push at the right time, and then hope that you don't just get a little like domino clip where it throws you into the outside retaining wall. He doesn't look too psyched about it, but it looks like he's just focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, just the main thing I believe, you've got your teammate with you. I think we all anybody that's on a team most of the time on a plate track, if you're the second guy, you kind of resign yourself to push. You're not going to try to win and kill both of you. So I would think that Albert's probably going to stick with him and push Derek as good as he can. Albert's a great pusher, so unless Derek kind of gets offline, I think they're going to stay on the bottom.
Oh, we got a new nickname for Dave. I saw Dustin Wade put in the chat, Turtleberry. I love it. Turtleberry.
Yeah, Turtleberry.
Yeah, love you, Dave. Ashley Osborne, she's like, no. She saw that incident with him. Vincent Short in there. Head shake. Wow, guys. And then Dustin Wade again, the front stretch is the devil. We agree. That's what we're talking about there. Vincent Short pulling for DW. So we'll see if he can pull it off here. We should be going green here momentarily. He's taking a deep breath. You see, he's getting ready. We'll get back up here, get a good perspective.
The main thing probably is not to get too far out ahead, not to get too far out and give Eaton an opportunity to push Albert by Derek.
Yep, back underway here. 99 gives the 21 a good push. 49 gets an incredible start to the outside. They'll be lucky if he doesn't
Dustin
clear
Eaton.
them. Yep, and
Wow,
Dustin Eaton popped to the
with
outside.
A hell of a move.
Yep. Told you not to sleep on Dustin.
Oh, they've saved it, but they almost wrecked.
Okay, 21 pops in the outside line. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Hey, let's get us a team victory here. Coming to one lap to go. It's about to be official.
So we are going to end under green.
Next flag will end this, ladies and gentlemen. Anderson in the lead, being pushed by the 12 truck there of John Schoenbachler. We've been talking to him all night, how he's just been kind of the quiet, moving through the field. Got a little squirrely there in the backstretch. Let's see who's going to have the best push. 49's down the outside pushing. Derek Welch is going to come down to one of these teammates as to who's going to win. Coming out of turn 4, looks like the 99 has the advantage. Outside's got some momentum. Who's going to win the photo finish? Looks the 99 truck. Great job. That's a great finish considering the kind of the different angles we had tonight and the different instances we had. They finished that. It was an incredible finish there.
Yeah, that was a great finish. I mean, that was not exactly how I expected that to go with them side by side as teammates. But Dustin Eaton was the guy that stirred the drink right there, and when he made that move to the outside, that kind of changed up everything going on that green white checkered start.
Yeah, it sure did. And we're going to jump to a quick commercial so we can come back and interview your race winner, Mr. Albert Anderson, the 99 Country Time Lemonade truck. Can't miss him. We told you if he got back on lead lap, he was going to be hard to handle. Great job, Mr. Anderson. We'll get right back with you.
This is VRN, your trusted leader in e-motorsports.
In a world filled with adversaries, one man wades through the pack to claim glory. Albert Anderson, America's driver and season 7's winningest competitor.
I got a full because I was going to get America.
What the hell?
Good win, Albert. Good win.
Boy, Albert, good win, dude.
Hell yeah, that was sweet, dude.
Damn, Albert, good job, buddy. That was freaking close.
Good job, Albert.
no 3 laps to the first lap. He did.
Knew that was going to be a hell of a drag race coming off the board.
Good job, Albert. Good win again.
You bringing home another trophy, baby?
Yep, clear off another spot.
I got you, boo.
All right, Vigilante Race fans, it's Alan and Ricky. We're back from the break, getting ready to interview your race winner, Mr. Albert Anderson, the 99 Country Time D&D Graphics Chevrolet. How about it, Ricky? What a win for him tonight, huh?
Yeah, I mean, perseverance coming back up through after a lap down. I know he's not been feeling well, had some, issues, and I'd say it's not comfortable trying to drive the whole race, but Albert stuck with it, and he shows once again why he's one of the best there is when it comes to plate racing.
That's right. That's a good point. He was not actually going to race tonight because he's been under the weather. So we'll ask him about that and how. I'm sure he's feeling much better now. So let's get our race winner up here in the booth. Hey, Mr. Albert Anderson, it's Alan and Ricky in the booth. How you got me, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man, great recovery. I think we talked to you earlier in the race. You were coming from a lap down and everything. We were discussing it, Ricky and I, how you can't sleep on you. You get back on that lead lap, you're going to be hard to handle. And you certainly were this evening, buddy. How did it work out? How did it play from the seat of the truck?
Man, this kept grinding, got a lap down there and came down and got a set of tires and just wanted to get myself in position. It's similar tactics to Talladega here, but you can't move around as much. The trucks are a lot looser, but I wanted to be there in position at the end. And on that last restart there, Derek and I were talking about what to do. And I was going to push him out in front of Tucker, and then I was going to jump in front of Tucker, and we were going to control both lanes to the stripe. Derek got kind of a slow restart there, and that didn't work, but I was still able to push him out to jump up in front of Tucker. That way we controlled both lines coming to the stripe, and it worked out for both of us. It was a 1-2 finish for All-Stars. It was a great night.
Yeah, we were discussing that actually, what you were going to do when it came time to choose. The 21 had the lead. He had the option to go top or bottom. We discussed, would you try to basically control both lines coming to that last green-white checker there? You chose not to, but it worked out that way in the end anyway. The 12 truck gave you incredible pushes there. We've been talking about him all night as well, John Schoenbachler. So, man, great finish. Was there a time or a key moment where you thought you had this one?
From when I started the race, I knew I was going to win this race when I entered it. I started in second place. And I'm super confident at speedways, and I knew I was going to spank a lot of bottoms tonight if I didn't get wrecked.
Or there was some red behinds out there for sure. Ricky, what do you got for our champion of Atlanta?
Just another great job, Albert. It's good to see a Country Time Chevy out front. I did want to ask you, because I know that you drive different trucks, different makes and models. Is there a reason that you picked the Chevy? Does it run better at Atlanta, or is it just like a personal preference?
So I wanted to run my Country Time paint scheme in this league, and to avoid from switching paint schemes from league to league, I run the Chevrolet Country Time over here, and then over in our sister league, VRL, I run the Toyota DeWalt paint scheme. That way I can just go right in without changing paint jobs. I prefer the Toyota, but damn, that Chevrolet was fast tonight.
Look good out there, buddy. Just don't celebrate too hard and throw any big ladies over your shoulder. I know you had some back problems. It's good to see you. Good to see you be able to get this one tonight and hang in there and take the win.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ricky. Albert, you were racing injured tonight. Tell us about that.
Yeah. First of all, that statement about I knew I was going to win it when I come in, I was just joking. I was just being cocky, but playing around, just being cocky. I hurt my back pretty bad, and my number 1 and number 2 lumbar and my spine. I got a degenerative spine situation going on, and that pinched off my sciatic nerve, and it sent my right leg on fire. Pins and needles, numbness, extreme pain. I couldn't sit down, I couldn't lay down, I couldn't do anything. And I went to the doctor, and tonight I am very jacked up on legal pharmaceuticals and not feeling anything, including my right leg. And somehow I was able to, my depth perception's a little off. So I was trying to judge, making moves on the track tonight. And the guys on the team were giving me a hard time about it, but somehow I pulled it out, and we got to victory lane, and it feels great, man, to be back in victory lane.
I don't think that bodes well for the rest of the season there, Ricky. He's racing injured, a little bit under the weather, medicated, and he still goes out here and he pulls off the victory at Atlanta. I would be worried if I was the rest of the field.
Yeah, definitely, Albert. A great job again, buddy. You are America's driver. You are the man on super speedways, and you prove again why.
Yeah, I mean, I just at every speedway, I've had a hard time talking tonight. Every speedway race that I've won is due to the truck behind me. So I believe it was the 12, John, pushing me. So this is his win too. I always credit the guys that push me to the win, because without them, I would not have a single speedway win. So thank you to John for pushing me and giving me that win. And, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, we were talking about that, how the winner is going to come from that second row and how well they can push. And John Schoenbachler was doing an incredible job tonight throughout the race, not to mention pushing you to victory there. I'm sure he'll be glad to hear you acknowledging the fact that we can't do it without that second row there and a great pusher behind us. So again, congratulations. Do you have any shout outs for team members, fans, or family?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to my team members, All-Star Racing, Jeremiah Burke, Jason Gaines, Tom Barish, Derek Welch. We got a rock solid team full of all-stars. Any one of them is going to win a race at any time. So, we got a powerhouse team over there, and I think we're going to exert some dominance in this league. And a shout out to everybody in the chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for coming out and watching. Amazing league. What, you and Ricky and Lori have done to put this league together is just phenomenal. And thank you for the broadcast. You guys' broadcasts get better and better and better as it goes on. And it's already top shelf, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the future.
That's great, buddy. One last thing I neglect to ask you, how you feeling about Homestead next week?
Love Homestead. I'm fast at Homestead. As long as you can keep the truck under you and don't burn up your tires, you're going to have a strong night at Homestead. I expect to do really well there. Also want to thank Ricky Wittenberg, D&D Race Graphics, for the paint I was running tonight. Love this Country Time paint, and I appreciate him for doing that. But we're going to go into Homestead very confident, and we plan on dominating that race, from start to finish. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
All right, buddy. It was great talking to you. Outstanding race for you tonight. We'll drop you down for the race drivers meeting. We'll be down there shortly to go over the events of the evening, and look forward to seeing you on track in Homestead next week.
Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
All right, buddy. Good night. That was your race winner, Mr. Albert Anderson, racing out of Washington, D.C. Ricky, what a night, man. Incredible race at the end there. We did have some carnage, but overall we had some really tight, good racing too. The carnage we had was just a product of this style of racing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said at the top of the show that Atlanta is kind of like the short track of super speedways, which is weird to say, but it races like a super speedway, but it's so tight, and there's guys pushing up all night, into the second groove. It happened to many guys. And Albert was able to survive, and it was a good show, and it made for an exciting finish, if nothing else. And I hope we put on a good broadcast for the people watching.
Yeah, certainly did. Let's take a look before we get off of here at the race results. So your race winner, we mentioned Albert Anderson out of the All-Star Racing Camp, Derek Welch, John Schoenbachler, Nick Tucker, and Andrew Cawthon round out your top 5. 6th place, Andrew Player. 7th, Chris Goins. 8th place, Jonathan Osborne. 9th place, Scott Milner. Jeremiah Burke come home in the 10th position. Dustin Eaton in 11th. Kyle Vaught pulled off a 12th place finish after all the damage he had. That's pretty good. Mike Adamson, 13th. Craig Goodenough comes home 14th. Dave Mayberry, 15th. Justin Brown is the 16th position. Kelly Kill, 17th. And Paul Durkee in the 18th position. Let's see, 19th is Justin Lawson. 20th, Tom Barish. Colin Decker comes home 21st. Jason Gaines, 22nd. Anthony Williams, 23rd. Dustin Wade, 24th position. Dylan Bryant, rough night for him, 25th. Russ Kilgore in the 26th position. 27th, Crystal Villano. 28th, Chris Klein. John Gallagher home in 29th position. And 30th was Tommy Welch. 31st was Jonathan Marsh. Rounds out your total field here tonight of 31 trucks. Any final thoughts there, Ricky?
No, looking forward to Homestead next week. That's going to be a totally different race than we saw tonight. So had a good turnout tonight. Big field of trucks. Hope to see another big field next week, and should be a good one at Homestead. That's one of my favorite tracks.
All right, buddy. We're going to sign off for the night. Thanks, Vigilante Race fans, for watching, subscribing, and chatting with us this evening. We hope you are able to get with us again next week. Same time, same bad channel. Good evening, y'all.